Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the universe has split us apart, but we finally managed to get Lynx and the Jazz cast together. Welcome to SCS. We have together, me and you, not just me and you separately. We finally did it. Boys, we have a good match. We have a really good match.
Great match.
We have an amazing match between InControl Nation and our Lee's team. I'm just kidding. We have a match between InControl Nation and Lycus.
Some of you might not like us as Braction's team, to be fair. But
yeah, fair enough. I'm Jazzman. This is Lynx. We haven't introduced ourselves enough already. We have an incredible game ahead of us. Not an incredible maps, unfortunately. Spoiler alert. But we have an incredible game. It is going to be a really good one, probably the best of the season, hopefully, if I didn't just jinx that myself. And we got a great caster and observer and producer to take us through with it.
Yeah, all around this should be a great show. But again, a little bit about the teams. If you're not familiar with InControl Nation and Lycus Empire, again, probably some of the best teams in the league. And our duel tonight, as you can see, the 5 maps that have banned out. If you're good at math or process of elimination, that means you'll know that our 2 maps will be going to our Clubhouse in Oregon. So, as Jazz might have hinted at, not the newest thing on the planet, also might be the 2 maps he casted last night, but for me, since I was not there, this is completely new territory. But hey, I'm just excited to cast InControl and Lycus. And again, let's talk about those teams. InControl Nation, and since I come from RSA, I know of their dealings there, and they actually beat, to move to the winners bracket, one of the best teams in T3, Aerial Arise, who have beat 2 CL teams. So that's the kind of team we're dealing with. If anybody in this league right now in SCS can bring the fight to Lycus, who have had a dominant season to say the least, it can be InControl Nation. And as you can see, everyone's got a positive rating. So does Lycus. But again, Yusuke 1.24 and Bone at tied. Both the entries of the team doing absolutely insane. Almost a 1 kill per round for Yusuke. That is insane. 1 might not seem like a large number, but to almost get a kill every round is fairly impressive, to say the least. And also, a good seasonal history overall, as you can see, pretty much wins across the board. A few dropped maps here and there, but to see something that is that green, it's impressive.
Yeah, and Yusuke and the rest of InControl is a team that's fairly new to me. I only started casting them once I came into SCS, but they have like impressed me quite a bit with the names on their team as well as with the players. You could see that their supports are both positive, albeit obviously their entries are a little bit better. But having your hard breach and having a soft support being like your extremely good players, that's pretty impressive. That's not something that you see on a team quite a bit, but at the same time, you're also playing up against Lycus, who, to be fair, have picked up a brand new player. So we're going to get into that very shortly. They have a brand new player. You can see at the bottom of your screen, that's going to be Twist. Now, this team is very interesting because obviously you have, I guess your most famous player in there is Braction, obviously. But you have a new player coming from, I believe, was it Canadian CL? And then you have Defiance, Kalita, Hourly, Braction, all names that you've probably heard of throughout T3 Siege. Now, both of these teams are very evenly matched. Currently, Lycus is actually ahead in points. So if InControl want to get ahead, they must win this game to get 31 points, I believe, which would put Lycus underneath of them. And that would also, I think, shoot them up to first. I'm not really sure about that one. But if they do come to a tie, then Lycus will stay ahead. This is basically a race for first. This is not a race of this doesn't determine the end of the world. This is basically a race for who's the top team. You can see Emergence and Pride have kind of climbed up throughout this season. InControl are looking to do the same thing, and recently with I believe the Redux Lycus game, everyone is kind of even. I mean, they're very close except for the gap between InControl and Emergence. So the top 4 teams are really close together right now, and this win for InControl could be absolutely huge for their standings.
Yeah, as Jazz mentioned, as you can see the top 4 teams, it's too close to say that this game is going to decide who will be the first place. The aim for this game is just to become a bit comfortable in the league, to stave off, falling further and further for another week, and to stay in contention with Wichita Wolves, Redux Rising, who are basically on that spot. And that's exactly what InControl, who is at that bottom 4 with 28 points, is going to try and do. And honestly, again, if any team can bring it to Lycus so far, it definitely has the potential to be InControl Nation. And Jazz, I'm curious, what do you think? It may be a bit early, but I'm excited to get into this. Who do you think might have a bit of the edge going in? Who might we be seeing become the victor later on down the line? As you can see, also predictions are the staff as well.
I predicted that Lycus Empire would win the game, and the reason why I would do that is because they're a much more established team. I think InControl are kind of green, but at the same time, they've also proven themselves quite a bit. So the other thing that I guess it's like the easier route to say this, but I mean, Lycus have a new player, right? That is going to be a huge factor in this game. They have a new player that they basically just picked up a few days ago. He's extremely good at Dead by Daylight.
That is true.
Besides
in terms of the mental game, that could come into play.
Yes, absolutely. I'll give you my energy. But it's a new player. I mean, even if he is good, he's going to have to really show up if he wants to prove himself and if he wants to take his team to a victory. Because anytime that you sign a new player, you have to go through rigorous scrims in order to get them into the meta, get them into your team's playstyle. That can be really difficult because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Twist is basically crossing the border with this team since he played in like kind of the Canadian scene. So he's going to have to adapt to a completely new playstyle and a completely new league with a completely new team. And it can be quite tricky. InControl, I don't think I've changed their roster quite as much, I believe. So I guess to say InControl are going to be a little bit more fluid with the way that they play, it's kind of an understatement. But at the same time, Lycus are of course ahead of the standings. InControl are the ones that are having to prove themselves today, so that could also come into account.
And you know, Jazz and I were both we mentioned earlier, we're both friends at Hourly, big fans of the guy on Lycus. But you know, for the sake of conflict, I think InControl might come with. It's going to be a close game to say the least. And honestly, it might be a tie. I would not be surprised. But because of the fact that InControl, obviously, they have that more consistency with their roster. And that's not to say Lycus doesn't. I mean, Braction, Hourly, and even Defiance, while Defiance might not have been on a team as long as Braction and Hourly have together, they all have great cohesion together. And I mean, Braction and Hourly, they even go back to, you know, Kaioken and CL Quals, and even long before that. They've been teamed together for a while. But InControl, as a core five, have been together and in RSA have shown the potential to upset or take maps off of really good teams, as I mentioned earlier. Even beat Aerial Arise, a team who has now at this point taken 2 victories over CL level teams under their belt, and Inc was able to best them, albeit in a close one, but still a best nonetheless. And even then, their stats are comparable to Lycus Empires as well. Pretty much both of them having green, you know, 1.2, 1.1 ratings across the board, and everyone in their specific roles doing a really good job. So I think it's going to be close. Honestly, the ties probably have it, but again, just for the sake of conflict, I think I'm going to go Inc in a close matchup. We'll probably end up taking this.
I was corrected. This is the wrong twist. This is not the Canadian twist.
That's what I thought. So I think this twist played
There's
on...
so many duplicate names.
No,
I still can't get the prods. I still cannot get the prods down.
Wait.
I don't know who Prodigy, Prophet, Prod, all that stuff.
There's 2 prods?
There's Prodigy, Prophet. I don't know, man. There's
a
so
lot of
many.
PR names. No, so I think this is the twist. This is the twist that played on NSO with, you know...
I see.
You know, Shirinian, all those guys. And he was the standout player on NSO back in the day. So that's another...
Okay.
Hey, it might not be the Canadian twist, but that's another point in your column right there. He was by far and away one of the best players on that roster. So him finding a home here, I imagine, especially on the entry and the roam, which is the roles he's going to be playing, he's going to be able to do extremely well here. So again, that just goes to show that why Jazz might be right, but again, why it's going to be a close game either way.
All I know is that Twist is the king of unhookers in Dead by Daylight. That's all I know about him.
Canadian twist or this twist?
I hate it here. So I mean, the thing is that if you're talking so much about Twist obviously being good on NSO, a team that kind of had a rough start whenever it came to their T3, you have to wonder why Lycus picked them up, right? Like Lycus is a pretty good team, so they're gonna have a reason for picking up Twist. It could be he just fits into the roles. It could just be that he's just good. It can literally be anything. Obviously, we'll never know unless I quite literally interview them after this game and I ask them why they pick up Twist. That is the only point we'll know, and where we'll know. There's no pregame interview, so we're gonna. That is something I definitely want to pick their mind about, is the new pickup. But the rest of Lycus, they're gonna be putting a lot of trust into Twist to be that star player, to be that player to help them out in this game against InControl, who, like you said, is a very consistent roster, who have been running the pockets out of the players in T3. So this team is really good. I'm really excited to see both of these teams play. I just on paper, looking at Lycus Empire versus InControl Nation, you know for a fact that this is going to be one of, if not the closest games of the season. And if I'm wrong, I will never predict ever again. Ever, because there's no way this isn't going to be one of the closest of the season.
That'd be extremely unfortunate if this was a stomp one way or the other. That would just...
It's in the
That'd
back
be
of my
unlucky.
mind, man.
I mean,
if it is,
listen.
I'm gonna be so disappointed.
I don't think it will. All signs are pointing to the fact that this will be a close game. But there have been plenty of times in the past where all signs have pointed one way, and actuality, it just goes completely another way. You know, think about any time that, especially back during, you know, Parabellum when Villa first got released, that we would see an attacker-sided Villa on a map that was one of the most defender-sided in history. We've seen times in maps and with teams that the odds can go another way. And for all we know, unfortunately, this could be a stomp. But again, if you're not convinced yet that this will be a close game, then I don't know what will. You're just a hater. You're a denier. You're a denier of fun, and the fun police have no place here. That much I can be certain. No.
Absolutely not.
You're like the people who camp the hooks in Dead by Daylight.
That's a good reference.
Dude, I played it a little bit. I've played it a little bit.
It's a fun game. It is a fun game. You are the people that like. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's the maps, man. The maps are going to be what really decides this. If you are on attack, I mean, we have InControl on defense on Clubhouse, but Lycus have defense on Oregon. You could argue that Lycus are going to have a grip on a defensive map that is way more defender-sided than the other. Going into a best-of-2 series, there is no overtime. You patch up your mistakes right then and there. Sorry, no map 3, not no overtime.
No decide.
You have to patch up. You have to patch up your mistakes right then and there. If you mess up on one map, you're gonna have to quickly. There's no reset. There's no hard reset.
There's no chance going to even territory between both teams. You have your map.
There's no map 3. There is no like, wow, we can take him on map 3. So, with that in mind, starting out, InControl have the weaker defender side, if you will. So if they manage to take this could really lead them in, because Lycus are gonna here's the thing, Lycus are gonna have a really strong map on map 2. Oregon defense, undeniably powerful. Undeniably. The utility meta got nerfed a little bit, but it's still the same Oregon. It is still going to be the same. Here's a shield there. Shield this, wall denial that.
It's gonna be utility game still.
It's still going to be a utility game, which is why it is the worst map in this comp pool as of this moment.
Let's not
I hate Oregon. I hate Oregon. Let's not go that far. I hate Oregon.
Cafe is a map that exists. Do keep that in mind.
Theme Park is a map that exists.
Also a fair point. But
put Chalet in Pro League. I love Chalet.
Again, I don't know about that one.
I love Chalet. It's so good.
I know. Listen, I know how your smoke ranked matches go. Okay, I know that Chalet might just be the Jazzman paradise, but I don't know how it might be in conflict. But to look at the records of both teams, if you want to take a little bit, this is Clubhouse Oregon, and we're in T3, so obviously they have played it quite extensively. Both teams have a fairly solid record on it. Again, they're two of the highest rated teams. But InControl has lost Clubhouse a little bit more, and Lycus Empire has won Oregon a little bit more. So Lycus Empire's record is a little bit better, but it's comparable for both teams. Same with the stat line. These are two teams that have had a historically outstanding record within SCS. So either way, whatever way you look at it, to reiterate it and to hit the ball home finally one time, this should be an even match. And of course, the first map's going to be 7-1 probably, because life hates us.
Don't say it.
Do we have everyone in the lobby, by the way? Just checking. I'm just checking. We're just waiting on one more person. Not sure the team yet, but still, we're about to get in the lobby, so you won't have to look at Jazz and I's faces anymore, and you won't have to start talking about Dead by Daylight. Okay. No. None of that here, okay? None of that self-deprecation. I know I make fun of you a lot.
You called me a bait. You said I look and sound like a baked potato.
I might have said that in the heat of the moment in a Call of Duty Zombies match. But that does not represent my true feelings about you.
Now the fakes are coming out.
Okay, okay. Now we're starting to impugn my reputation
a
little bit.
So there's someone named Salvage in the InControl. Is that? Can we get confirmation? Is that like? Sherble.
Wait, that means did InControl have a sub in then?
I think so.
Kojin.
Okay.
That if I might be wrong, because again, sometimes a lot of things going on up here. I could get it wrong. Kojin might be. I think he's their IGL. So you have to sub in your IGL.
I think it's Exile. Is it not Exile?
It might be. It might be Exile. But
it's either Exile or Kojin.
Yeah. But either way, even if Kojin is not the IGL, having to sub in your supports is. I mean, having to sub in any player is a big issue. But your supports are supposed to be the rock of the team. And maybe if you're subbing in one of your support staff, somebody that has good game knowledge and good game sense, putting them on support will probably be the best move, but still, losing one of your main roles that is supposed to be the rock of the team, if everything fails, you can rely on the supports to try to pick up the pieces. That's going to be a big defining factor and might swing the odds a little bit in the favor of Lycus Empire, which, makes me regret picking Ink a little bit. But hey, I'm sticking with it. I'm not going to switch. I'm not, not going to be like an NA major type thing where all of a sudden I switch to TSM halfway through. I'm sticking with Ink. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but all I'm saying.
I know you're out there, Jacob.
We know you're watching.
I'm in your head.
We're both in your head.
We're both in your head. We're like the twins from The Shining.
We're just standing at the end of the hallway. Dude,
Yeah,
can you imagine? That'd be scarier. You think like two little girls in like dresses holding hands are scared? Wait till you turn a corner, you see Jazz and I staring at you. That'd be terrifying.
Massive dude and really straight hairline.
And all right.
I'm sorry, but you got a Y equals MX plus B hairline.
We have to bring it. Okay, first of all, have you know, Y equals MX plus B is diagonal, so it's not a straight line. If you actually wanted it, it'd be Y equals.
No, but what I'm saying is,
I get that
like,
math is not your strong suit, but it's fine.
not.
All of us
but it's
can
like your hair's like going like that.
Okay, for sure.
It's not a straight line.
For
That's Crow. Crow is like X equals 1.
Listen, like
Jazz, Y equals 1.
Jazz,
oh my God,
again, math's not your strong suit. I know. Listen, I know you're self-conscious about the fact that you look like you'd go on an anti-mask rant in a Walmart. Okay, I know you're self-conscious about that, and that's fine. I'm gonna allow you to take out your self-conscious feelings.
Come on, man.
Okay?
You look like you take your girl to pizza on a date. Come on. I mean,
girl, you look like you'd eat the pizza your girlfriend got on the date. What do you mean?
Come on, man.
You'd see the plate get put in front of you. You're like, oh, sweet, seconds.
Do you eat through your nose? Because that thing is huge.
That is true. I do have a massive nose. It's also crooked. I can't come back on that one.
Can somebody start this?
I was about to say, we're starting to bully each other now.
We're just
looking at the progress in the game. I think I'm seeing ours from InControl, and we're seeing ours from Lycus Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ours. We have ours in the chat. We're ready. We're getting into the lobby. It's Clubhouse first up, as we said earlier. Let's go! Let's go to Clubhouse. Clubhouse, yeah. Clubhouse.
Clubhouse and then Oregon.
I like Clubhouse.
I mean, it's fine. I think it's fine. All right, boys, let's get the mirror bands underway. The Maverick bands, the Thatchers, maybe a Capitao.
Dude,
everything.
We see a Capitao. Sheesh.
That is an aesthetic band right there. I personally do think we are going to see a Maverick band. Lycus have Maverick players. They have multiple Maverick players, so I'd be very surprised if we don't see a Maverick band. It's Clubhouse. So, I mean, Clubhouse is very typical of this Maverick band. He has nades now, which makes him a very strong operator, and I don't think a lot of people like to comment on that. The nades can really help him out. He's a very versatile operator with a pretty decent gun. Hibana is also going to be banned. So, that means that ESA admins are currently breathing a sigh of relief as they watch this game.
They're blessing up right now. Jaeger might still be in play, though, and that's when we start spinning out of control.
Oh, no. Oh, God. So if you are not familiar with SCS rules, basically, Jaeger, you cannot play 2 or more AD. I'm just kidding. That's not true. Wamai is going to be banned as well. Now, Wamai has kind of seen a pretty embarrassing nerf. He has lost a shield. That is a massive nerf. So to see him banned is a little bit interesting, but you have to keep in mind that he is still a very good burn operator. Combined with a Jaeger, which isn't as good anymore, because that is also very interesting. InControl will ban Vigil, and I think I have seen them ban Vigil before. So I'm not surprised that it is InControl, but anytime we see a Vigil ban, that is very interesting, because there's a lot of Vigil players probably in this lobby, not even just on Lycus, but also on InControl. So this ban phase was definitely interesting. It took a weird turn when we saw the Wamai, as obviously he has lost his deployable shield, which is what was one of his strongest suits. But at the same time, he could still grab utility. He hasn't been changed in terms of utility wise, so he should be pretty good.
Yeah, but then also on the flip side of that, we mentioned the Capitao ban earlier. That didn't end up coming out. But holding places like Garage with a Wamai out of play and a Capitao in play will make it much easier if Lycus, or when we get to, InControl's half, if InControl decides to run a Capitao, clearing out spots like Rafters, or even Generator, though that has more of an emphasis on Jaeger, which does not catch Capitao bolts, will be a lot easier since you have those fire bolts in play. And there we go. Basement will be the first bomb site coming out, and Capitao is not in the lineup. But one operator who is we have Stepbrack, the artist formerly known as Braction, on Thatcher. An operator often banned on Clubhouse will be left in play today, as it's only the Maverick taken out. So that means that getting things like Cades, which are not in play, but then other devices like disabling ADSs, or mute devices, or Maestro cams, or any sort of electronic on the defense will be much easier because he is allowed to be played. And that in of itself can be the game changer for some teams, whether they choose to run him or not. Obviously, Lycus Empire are. That'll be a sigh of relief when it comes to their attacking lineup.
And obviously you can disable Wamais, which makes it, or not Wamais, sorry, you can disable Malusis, which if you're going to go for a dirt push, right now I believe that there is also not only a deployable shield that you see by Sherbil, actually it's not there anymore, he has placed it a little bit back, but there is a Banshee inside of dirt, and that can, or sorry, that is an ADS. They made it blue now? I thought it was red. That's I don't
yeah,
like
no,
that.
all the defenders' gadgets are becoming blue.
I don't like that. I like to
Why
differentiate.
don't you like that?
Because I like to differentiate. Now I know Jaeger ADSs as red lights, but anyway, what you can do is disable Malusis for a very short time, which you can take advantage of, so that way the Malusi is basically nullified. There's so many reasons why Thatcher is so good. Wall denial, all of this can really help out. Lycus are going to waste absolutely no time getting themselves in the kitchen, and InControl are going to waste absolutely no time using a C4, as Novozo C4 will pop to no avail, and the rest of Lycus are going to start to get control of the entire top floor, as it looks like InControl are going to be going for a full turtle strat. Exile is going to lose a lot of his HP. He will go for the impact dragon and will destroy one Selma. That is also the very tricky thing about a Hibana band. You're going to have to result to other hard breachers, and Thermite and Ace are both very easy to counter with an impact nade, because as an Ace, you need to put down 2 Selmas in order to destroy Hatch. They're going to bait out that Selma and take down Exile, however. Stepbrack is going to get the first kill. It's going to be Braction to find that one, and the Hatch will also get open. So in the end, the impact trick did do a lot of damage, but you will also lose a player on InControl and the Hatch. So good stuff here for Lycus. They wasted absolutely no time, not only getting an opening pick, but not getting refragged, and also opening up the kitchen hatch. Such good stuff so far from them.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue with impact tricking, especially that kitchen hatch. If you have a coordinated team, which Lycus Empire certainly are, if you open up those soft holes next to the hatch, they're able to peek down and watch you try to go for that impact trick, and that's exactly what happened to Exile. Now he's the opening pick, and he's gone, but it's a great shot and a refrag from Novozo to take him down. That was through the barricade and onto Twist, the new player, and who I said might be a star on the entry frag. We'll have to sit quiet and on cams for this round. A frag grenade sails in, only does a little bit of damage to Novozo on mannequins, and for the moment, I'd still say this is in the favor of the defense, even though kitchen hatch is open, as the attack for the most part has stalled out. Sure, they've lost the Maestro. They still have 1 C4 in the hand of Yusuke and 3 more bodies with Denial in the hand of Salvage to still try and push this out. And the push is really only coming from main stairs. Not a lot of blue presence, not a lot of dirt presence either. And as the time starts dwindling down, almost 30 seconds left, that's going to start biting Lycus Empire in the butt. If their main prong of their attack is kitchen hatch and main stairs, they're kind of walking and going to be like fish in a barrel. They're going to be walking right into the sights of the defense. And while it's going to be hard, Cal has to walk through some toxic waves in order to try to get the plant down 25 HP, but Defiance gets 1, and it's kills in the favor of Lycus Empire, as they're able to once to be shooting the fish in the barrel, I suppose. They push the angles and win. Novozo in a 1v3. Plant goes down. Now on the post-plant positions, he spots one on main stairs, but he's taken down as well. Lycus Empire pick up the first round, and defy my expectations. They're able to win those gunfights that they needed to and get the plant down, and that's the end of that round.
Really good smoke grenade. The fact that Cal was able to get back into Deep Armory is really surprising. That definitely won them that round. And the way that Lycus played that post plant was beautiful. They didn't push too far. Obviously, I think there was an over-reliance on the defenders, hoping that there was going to be a moto push, and in the end, all the main attack really started to come from Armory. Some people did push into moto, and it went handedly in the advantage of InControl, but in most cases, the rest of the attack was on that Armory side. So while you had Hourly watching cross, you also had the rest of Lycus just watching literally every angle that any utility could come from, any angle that a player could come from, and you also, I believe, killed off a C4 operator. So there was little to no denial. And again, the fact that Cal barely inched his way into back Armory, I think getting down to almost 10 HP off of the gas grenades, really shocking stuff there. InControl are going to completely avoid going back downstairs, however. They're going to take us over to gym and bedroom. Now, this site gets really interesting because obviously you're going to have to extend quite a bit, but there is no castle. So this is where things get a little bit interesting here for InControl, because they're going to have to rely on shields most likely, and peeking angles and holding angles. They're also going to be bringing a Mira, which cannot be understated. That can supremely help them whenever it comes to that defensive hold. But again, with no castle, it can also be extremely tricky to try and feel safe inside of a room that really does need castle barricades whenever you're extending onto it.
Also bringing the Goyo as well, as Vulcan shields will likely come into effect. Also, Exile's not placed his Black Mirrors. Yeah, but you can probably expect one inside a bathroom. And other than that, I'm not entirely sure where he'll place the other one. Again, Mira's not an operator often played that much anymore, just due to the fact that she was, well, she's permabanned for a year, and now she's just starting to not be on that role anymore, as other operators have taken precedence. And she'll put one at the bottom of the left wall, inside of that Logi, rotate inside a bedroom. Again, fairly solid spot overall and fairly conventional, nothing all that crazy. And the main prong, or the main point of this defense, is going to be that cash hold, and how the attack clears it out can often be what decides a round. I've actually had an odd trend recently where it seems cash defenses don't seem to work out for teams, though I think that's more just, I think I've just been unlucky, as this is a default for a reason. This is a tried and tested strat, and something that obviously the attacking team is going to have to deal with. And the fact that only a mute is in play and Braxton's on the Thatcher means that actually opening up those walls will be easier, well, if Yusuke wasn't impact tricking, though. And that's the issue. That's the thing they're going to have to contend with. He's already got one ace charge. Will the second be got as well? Yes, it is, but a frag grenade sails in and downs the Malusi, but already after all of Cal's ace charges have seemingly been expended. So sure, you've dealt with the main player playing inside of cash, and now the wall has been opened, but Yusuke's already done his job. He's wasted an exorbitant amount of utility on the side of the attack, and actually the only hard breacher left. So if you're trying to get Jacuzzi wall, or any other wall on the site for that matter, you're just out of luck.
That is why impact tricking is so strong, and that's why Hibana ban is super strong. Hibana's super flexible now, but with Ashe and Ace, you can kind of predict where their projectiles are going to go. And on a map like Clubhouse, there are so many impact trick spots on both Gym Bedroom and Church Arsenal. And you can see that really coming into effect. InControl, however, have lost a player, and Lycus have not. They've lost utility, but they are currently up whenever it comes to lives, and they should play around that. Twist is going to get himself into Logi, and there is a player playing inside of the cash corner, and he will trade, I believe, as Hourly's going to take down Novozo, 2 versus 3. Lycus still having the man advantage, and Hourly's going to double that. He's going to get a double kill on to Sherbull, and now it's all up to Bone in a 1 versus 3. InControl have lost their grip, it seems. Defiance is going to go down here, sprinting right into Bone's angle. Diffuser is dropped, so it's going to have to be recovered by Lycus, but there's no intel here for Bone. There is no extra camera that he can really look at. The only camera that he has is the camera looking into his hallway, which he already has under control. You can see that Braxton is going to get control of Diffuser and begin the plant. Now Bone has to weigh his options. He knows he's in a 1 versus 1. He'll take the headshot onto Hourly. It's all of a sudden a 1 versus 1 between Bone and Braxton. Diffuser will go down. It's a post plant with only 38 seconds left. And you know that Bone is going to have to rush. He's setting himself into construction, but Braxton has such a nice angle. He's going to back up here, and Bone will trade shots here with Braxton. Back and forth they go, and here comes Bone. He's inside of construction, and he'll win the fight against Braxton for his 3rd kill of the round. And what an important clutch it is, as InControl will tie it up 1-1. Bone is going to prove himself here, and Lycus Empire will go down on the post plant.
InControl put Bone on Jaeger for a reason, and it's exactly the kind of play like that for why Bone has that role, and he's been pretty much on it for the entirety time I've been casting InControl Nation. A great play by InControl and by Bone by extension. Obviously, he's the one that clutched the 1v3. And again, that was not an easy post plant, to say the least. On Clubhouse, in a 1v3, that's tough. But the fact that he was able to pull it off and, again, just really catch them off guard, it seemed like in many cases. Hourly didn't seem to anticipate that, Bone was still on main stairs. Same with the very first kill that he got. It was only when he was in a 1v1 that Brack really had any idea where the Jaeger was coming from. And at that point, he just missed too many shots and Bone was able to exploit the fact off of that. Jazz even mentioned, Bone had a lack of intel, but it seemed like the attacking team did as well. And at that point, Bone was just running roughshod over the entirety of the 3 attacking members remaining alive. And that was the round, before they even can try and get a hold of it. Now they move back to basement, still choosing to avoid that CCTV and cash bomb site, but they will make one change in their lineup. Exile's been kind of switching off different operators. He played Maestro the first round, then Mira, but now he's probably on the most aggressive of those 3 roles. He switched to the Valkyrie, a similar role to Maestro to provide intel, but these black eyes are much smaller and much more versatile, and, well, there's one more of them than Evil Eyes. This will allow them to play a much more aggressive style overall, and it'll allow them to have more eyes in places where the attacking team might come from, though. Oddly enough, Exile's putting most of them in and around the bomb site. He put one on the top of main stairs, one right in the main hallway, and there. That third one is probably to watch the post plant if they try to do the kitchen drop they did last time. So actually, while it might not be, the most in-your-face style of cams you might have anticipated, those are some really good adaptations coming out from Exile to try and account for the same push if Lycus Empire decide to go for it.
In general, it seems like this post plant, given the amount that you have 3 C4s and 3 gas grenades, it seems like this is all going to be a post plant kind of play where they're going to hold down as long as they can. If they lose the site, they're just going to start chucking utility right into the faces of Lycus. Interestingly enough, we're going to also have the Necroc shield, if you will, inside of dirt. That is Salvage, or Sherble, I believe, playing inside of dirt with gas grenades. He might expend them if they start to push inside of dirt, and then he'll have a shield to back up with. And I think he has 1 ADS. That is what he had last time. And it does seem like Lycus are going to avoid it. Now, the thing about a dirt take is that it can be really difficult whenever you are trying to keep your hard breach utility. There's 1 ace. You need 2 Selmas to open up a hatch and 1 to open up a wall. If you're to expend one of those on dirt, you have no chance to recover if both of those Selmas get impact tricked. You most likely go for a dirt push if you have an ace and a thermite, or just a Maverick in general, because that Maverick can obviously open the wall by himself. He doesn't really need a thermite charge. But there's, of course, because we only have an ace, there's only going to be a kitchen hatch push. There's not going to be a dirt push unless they can keep all Selmas on the hatch and then keep 1 extra. As you can see, the hatch is going to go down with no resistance as there are no impacts remaining. Exile going to pop a C4, as you can see on the left side of your screen, completely gone. So we talked about that C4 and how it could be so beneficial to the post plant, but now it's gone. And I believe we saw Yusuke upstairs. Yusuke is playing with Bone on a roam, and he might actually have a really good angle as he starts to shotgun open the floors inside of Logi, looking down into kitchen. And it seems like Exile and Bone might go for a pinch as they are both positioned on the top and the bottom of the stairs separately. But you also have Hourly on flank watch, and you can see Cal is alert. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes. But right now, everyone is frozen and at a standstill. But as I say that, Yusuke is going to find the opening frag. It's going to be on the Defiance. He'll take down the sledge. He'll lose the nades, and here comes the dirt push. You're going to see Sherble take down 1, but it'll go immediately down here 2, twist. And it's going to be a beautiful shot there from Cal to take down Yusuke. 3 versus 3, but Bone will get a refrag onto Hourly, and now it's a 2 versus 3. As InControl have control of this map so far.
There's a really smart play coming out because the round, quickly ends before I can even get there. It's over. It's a great play by InControl overall, but that was a really smart play actually being brought out by Yusuke and Bone. What Yusuke and Bone did was Bone would start to push down main stairs, and then Yusuke would start shotgunning the floor up top to try and draw the attacker's attention. While he was doing that, he was essentially, Bone was baiting Yusuke, albeit willingly, to try and get a cheeky flank, but then Hourly was obviously on the flank. But again, that was just a great play and great coordination being brought up by the Mute and the Jaeger, and one of the many facets that they won that round. Another one is probably the hard breach ban that we saw earlier. Maverick and Hibana both being taken out really limits your options, obviously, for what you can bring on the hard breach. Hibana and Maverick are easily the 2 most common on Clubhouse, and the fact that they only have an ace, we've often seen teams kind of forego a thermite. He's been kind of the redheaded stepchild, if you will, of the hard breaching lineup, easily the least common ever since ace got brought into play. And Lycus Empire have just shown a willingness to not bring them and solely focus on the ace. But what that means is, like in round 2 and in round 3, if even one of those gets impact tricked, or if you're going for a hatch, that can heavily deplete your resources and limit the kind of push you want to go for. So if you go for kitchen hatch, that's already 2 of your ace charges gone, and at that point, you only have 1 more. Even if the impact trick wasn't successful, Lycus Empire are just screwed, essentially. And they are forced into that one-dimensional push, and that makes basement a lot easier for InControl, but now they have to go to CCTV, since this is the only bomb site they haven't won so far, and it'll likely, that hard breach ban, have the same effect on Lycus Empire as it has in the 2 rounds prior.
The one thing about Ace is that he's very strong on these types of bomb sites where there are no hatches to worry about.
True.
The thing about Ace, however, is that he's not as flexible as Hibana is. Hibana is very flexible. So, with that being said, though, he's very strong on a site like... I think whenever people think of Ace, they always think of this site specifically. It is such a good bomb site for Ace if they clear all the utility, which they have a Thatcher for. As you can see, one Selma's going to go off here to open up an angle, I believe, not an angle, sorry, an entryway into the garage. Now, the reason why they put it on that specific garage panel, if you're unaware, is because you can't actually watch that unless you swing rafters all the way over from the window, which is really easy to see and really easy to counter. Another EMP going to go off with the ringing of the Selma coming through, and the CC wall is going to get opened lickety split. You can see why Ace is taking such great effect. A wall that would usually be super easy to open up with a Thatcher and Ace combo is just gone in seconds. So good stuff so far from Lycus Empire, getting a lot of control early on, and you can see where Defiance is positioned. He's going to go for a nade here. I mean, it's just, it's so expected, right? He's got, as long as the ADSs aren't existent, Defiance is going to chuck a nade up to Exile. However, Exile's just going to jump down instead, and he'll lose his life as a result. Defiance will find an opening frag, not even needing to use, actually, I think he pushed Exile out with a grenade, and Exile said the only way out is death.
I mean, that was a bold strategy, to say the least, but I obviously don't think it paid off. I mean, sure, it's not the most
Very bold
impactful...
strategy, Cotton.
Exactly. Very bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it works out, and it didn't. I mean, you lost your Warden. Not the biggest in terms of impact, but in terms of map control lost, that's Garage. That's one of the main parts of an attack that you need to, acquire to actually gain the ground on the defense, and they've got it. There's still a minute left in the round. They have plenty of time. Sure, they might need to clear out some utility. You also saw one go for a run out over in gym bedrooms. That might be a spot that they have to clear. But still, if you need any part to make an attack work, it is certainly Garage. But at the same time, not having construction means that the players, like probably Bone, who want to go for a run out and try and deny the plant, they have the option to if there's no pressure there. But still, the pressure is certainly on the defense for the moment. Navoza will lose almost all of his HP and damage. He still has a C4, but even one shot in this aggressive position that he's playing could spell the end for him if he tries to swing. Defiance also loses a lot of HP in the smoke. He backwards, and he's kind of in the same position as Navozo. Useful utility, useful coverage that has to stay on the back lines. Arlie will get boned, so that jump out will be countered as the Ash is on the flank watch, oddly enough, where he's actually downstairs to catch the C4 from below. Great coordination, and will likely allow Kyle to get the plant down if he's able to dodge these toxic babes, or if he stops waiting out the time. But here goes Navozo. He's ripped the C4. The moment he hears this goes down, especially with Yusuke getting a kill onto Twist, this could be green. It's a double for Navozo. There you go. The secondary utility coming in spades. Arlie tries to rotate up. You should have stayed downstairs, buddy. And Lycus Empire, they should have stayed out of the bomb site. InControl, they continue their stomp on the defense so far.
Wow, that Navoza C4 is game-winning right there. Even though he had low HP, you can see how utility can help out. And InControl are taking this to a next level. So many gas grenades and C4 pressure. This feels like year 3 again. So much gas grenade and C4 pressure. I mean, we see like minimum 2 C4s every single round from InControl, and we can see 4 potential operators with C4, the Mira, Malusi, Mute, and Goyo. And that C4 really helped them out. It got a double kill. That wasn't even the intention. The intended plan was to kill Cal, and it killed Cal and another player covering him. And that allowed for the rest of InControl to sweep in and take control of the site once again. And Lycus are going to fall to that. It is going to be 3-1 InControl. We talked about how InControl are dominating the big teams. They're dominating the big teams that are basically showing up in every other league. And it seems like that's what we're seeing so far here, because they have not slowed down whenever it comes to their pressure and to their map control, with a sub being Sherbil. Now, I know Sherbil, I think he plays competitive, so he's not new to this thing, but at the same time, it is a sub, and you're losing your IGL. So to see InControl playing like this without their main IGL is pretty impressive stuff.
That is true, but again, keep in mind, this is Clubhouse defense, and with the ban phase that, in terms of what was lost, heavily favors of the defense. It makes the odds a little bit better for them. So we could see Lycus on the next half still, start to bring it back. But again, anything is possible at this point. The prevalence of a Thatcher, again, because of that hard breached bans, has been heavily diminished. So again, I said earlier that this is probably going to be a huge boon for the attacking team and for Braxton playing him. But again, because Hibana and Maverick were banned out, not nearly as much. Just kind of disable some Malusi's and some Maestros, which, again, is certainly useful. But if you're not able to push into the bomb site, the disabling, doesn't help that much if you're still, using a lot of them to try and open the wall. Yusuke will vault down into garage. He's trying to take an aggressive gunfight early on with the player outside garage door. I don't know if I would normally advise this, but, hey, you'll at least get a drone for his troubles and deny some intel, rotate out, potentially rotate back upstairs. And yes, that's exactly what he will do. But while he was gone, the cache clear has been left basically vacant. One in construction, and Yusuke, the player who was playing inside last time, will be spotted on red. Trace is coming out above his head as one has moved in, but one is still watching the flank. And he's kind of trapped between a rock and a hard place at the moment. And with nobody actually inside of that cache defense, That's going to be trouble. Trouble for Brack as well. He's been taken down to 5 HP. And Yusuke will go for a flank, but there you go. That's why you got to stay in the cache extension and actually have somebody play inside there. Because Yusuke tried to make a play. Now he's dead. And InControl in a 4v5.
You're going to see that they're going to forfeit that construction control, and that's going to allow Lycus to sweep in with flying colors. And look at that. The time is literally not even half gone. That is a really good start here for Lycus, but there is somebody playing inside of Logi. I believe that is Bonin. He was a playmaker last time we were on this site, so we can't say that this is all but over, as obviously InControl have the angles looking into cash. They can somewhat deny that. Novozo is going to trade and take down Braxton, so it is going to be an even man count now, as your Thatcher is going to be gone. However, Thatcher has done most of his work. There are no more important walls to get because it doesn't seem like Lycus are going to bother with Jacuzzi through the wall. Bone is going to take Cal down to 25 HP, as this time around there is no Mira on the cash corner. InControl just now holding out. They only got a minute remaining here, as Lycus looking like they want to get themselves in, and you can see Twist is prepping to get himself inside of Logi. There is somebody waiting on the hatch, I believe. That is Defiance. So with the drone work as well as that hatch coverage, they can get themselves in. The Goyo top main is going to be spotted out and forced away as Lycus fully take Logi. The rest of the attacking team going to be there as well. Twist is going to take down a second here as a C4 pops from underneath. No cigar for that. And it's going to be Sherble to come right back up here. He could be a really big playmaker from his angle. Defiant's going to lose a lot of HP. It's an SMG-11 battle, and it is going to be the Mute to come out on top. However, Hourly will take down 2, and now it's all down to Exile. He'll take down Twist, pop the Goyo shield, and start to move his way into Jim, and he's got 81 bullets to do so. You can see him through the footholds. Hourly's going to go down. Exile will find 3, and it's going to be the round for InControl as Novozo down Defiance. It's going to be another clutch on Jim, but Exile said, hold my beer, I'll do it too. The 81 makes it happen, and InControl stay in control. It's going to be 4-1, and Lycus Empire have nothing to say about it.
So, I guess just don't attack InControl on Gym Bedroom. Might be a lesson we've learned. If you thought a 1v3 clutch was impressive in a post-plant situation, the second one around, not a post-plant, but a 1v4, or effectively one. So yeah, there's that. I mean, you know, good try to Lycus Empire. You got the man advantage. You capitalize off some poorly advised play coming out from Yusuke. Got all the map control you need, albeit don't have Jacuzzi Wall, which actually, again, there's that hard reach ban coming into play. The fact that Jacuzzi Wall remained completely reinforced. Nobody could cut off the flank and allow Exile. Well, it allowed Exile to play behind that bathroom wall and to get those kills that he ended up getting to clutch that round. That wall is open if you have one more hard breacher. A lot easier situation, but you don't, because the Maestro's left alive there. He's able to play and make that position. So it was a good attack by Lycus Empire, but just an even better play, a singular play at that, coming out from Exile. Now going to the final bomb side of basement. Of course, you expected this. You can't go Gym Bedroom twice, unfortunately, for InControl. But in the most recent history, they won this bomb site the last time you played it. So the odds are looking good, to say the least, for InControl to end this half 5-2.
I mean, we talked about how strong Clubhouse defense can be, but honestly, InControl off of 2 clutches, that's personal play. I hate to say it, but Lycus, you gotta win those. So, with InControl having a 5-1 favorable half, you have to wonder where Lycus will stand, because obviously, the Hibana ban is significant. It is so good, especially with the new changes. So, with that being said, whenever Lycus go on to their defense, they're not going to have to deal with the Hibana. You have to wonder if InControl are going to be bringing double hard breach duty. That C4 has been popped by Exile quite a bit here, or Novozo, I think. But it has never found somebody. And it'll stay that way. And never mind. I'm completely wrong. Exile will take down Defiance to be the opening frag here, albeit it took 2 C4s, but you've lost your nades, you lost your soft breach, and you've lost a pretty good start here. Given Hourly now has, I guess Hourly on Ash, has 3 launchers, which is really good. You still lost a sledge. I mean, that is 3 charges to 25, and you lost nades. And there's no refrag.
Yeah, I was gonna say that C4 early on has been it's not been effective, to say the least, for InControl, but maybe they're just playing the long con and getting the sledge, as you said. That's a big play, especially because a large part of why that first round got won for Lycus Empire was that they were able to use those sledge holes above to take down the Maestro impact trick. Now here, of course, the hatch has still been open, so kind of nullified in a sense, but also there's a bit more of 3D, a bit more multi-level element to Lycus Empire's attack, is there's more of a dirt push as well. There was last time, and one of the main issues was a smoke playing inside of dirt. You got a shotgun on Twist, though the refrag did come out, and it's a push, but one shotgun kill. Can he get two? No, it's not. It's the refrag got by Twist again, and I'm starting to see a bit of a repetition of history. But if you recall, if we still continue down this path, Braxton gets taken out in dirt with a refrag by Twist. This is the man advantage for InControl, and this was a round win in the end, coming out for the defense.
Smoke grenades are going to pop everywhere, and InControl are going to start to worry as Lycus push in, but this time, Cal will get denied. C4 will pop, and that's going to be the last. Salvage also has no more gas grenades, so it's going to come down to gunfights as Lycus Empire try to take control. Hourly will take down one, trying to go for a second, and he'll recover the diffuser. Twist is his only man to cover, however, and there's 3 players alive on InControl. If Hourly wants to get this diffuser down, it'll be a 3 versus 1. He won't get it down, though, as he falls. Yusuke will get that kill. Great shot here by Twist. He gets his second kill of the round. Everyone else is inside of blue now, as Twist will recover the diffuser. This is a really tough position as he's got 20 seconds remaining, and he has to crack this defense with 15 left. Exile is going to start to push in here. He knows the plan's happening. Twist is not going to be able to finish this one off. And InControl will take a 5-1 split on Clubhouse defense. Call it a strong map, but a 5-1 is nothing to shy away about. That is not something that you go and say, oh, Clubhouse defense. No, that is a really good defense from InControl. They're going to move on to the second half with a very hefty advantage. And Lycus Empire, they're going to have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, these, well, I was going to say these next couple rounds will really decide how Lycus Empire will be able to react, but they only have a couple rounds to lose until InControl actually win this map. Two more rounds is all that InControl need to actually end up winning and going to that second map. So Lycus Empire have very little time to start making mistakes. Now, thankfully, they are going to the defense, and just in the whole of Siege, that's the more favorable side, and the one that if you're not having your best day, you can usually rely that your defenses will be better than your attacks. So I do have confidence that Lycus Empire should be able to start closing this, but again, it just takes a couple runaway victories for InControl to start ending this game. And as you can see on the left side, there is a massive change in lineup. InControl is bringing a Thermite instead of the Ash. Now, on one side, that's kind of risky. Not as much of those Ash charges to destroy any shields or Maestros, both of which are being brought by Lycus Empire, and those flashbangs will also be on the Thermite, so it's mainly that, explosive damage and explosive capabilities that you're losing. But one of the main problems for Lycus Empire was the one-dimensionality of their push due to restricting themselves to the Ace. Because Salvage is bringing that Thermite, and Exothermics can be used on, hatches or walls or whatever you so wish. This will allow them to push from a much more variety of angles, have a much more, standard attack for attacking on Clubhouse, and that will probably aid them significantly, the fact that they were willing to make that change.
Thermite is definitely very interesting, considering that we didn't see it whatsoever from Lycus. And I'm wondering how it's going to help. And this is one thing. We talked about how dirt pushes can be really specific, because if you lose an ace charge, obviously you can't do a dirt push if you want the hatch. But with Thermite, you have a little bit more options. You can see Cal's going to be forced off of the Necroc smoke spot, which is what I like to call it. Maybe not you guys. Braxton's going to cost C4. It's going to be Hail Mary. It's going to take Exile down to 1 HP. Oh my gosh. And he's just going to keep hammering away. He's just going to keep going. He literally cheated death, and he's just going to keep on going. Ace charges. Oh, no, but Exile is going to fall due to that 1 HP. Impact Trick will also come out to deny a Selma. So, InControl a little bit staggering at the start. Exile will get back up, and hopefully Nivozo can get this hatch open. You're going to hear a nade pop here. Defiance might run right into that. It's going to be Cal to get the opening frag, and Exile will fall once again. Impact Trick still coming on out here as Defiance gets that kill, and it's going to be a 3 versus 5. With no kitchen hatch open just yet to show for it, but there it is. After 2 deaths, though, you have to argue, is it really that much worth it? Yes, you need the kitchen hatch open, but you've lost to Zofia, you've lost Exile on the sledge, and now you've lost the defender. As Nivozo, a beautiful shot all the way over to box 3. We'll get the opening frag here for Lycus Empire as he takes down, for InControl, as he takes down Outwardly.
And losing that Maestro is going to be big. Those Evil Eyes will remain dormant if they haven't already been destroyed. But still, in terms of the attacking team, their lineup isn't looking too hot either. Still have an ace charge in the pocket to try and open up Church Wall. But again, the utility still remaining alive on the defense, with the guns likely going to be training down towards that main stage. There's also something to be noted. And Salvage, I believe, is pushing alone. Yeah, inside of Dirt. I do see. No, he's rotated back up. So him and the Ace have now joined forces, and it's looking like a kitchen drop is about to come out. The smoke grenades will fly in. They'll pop, and Nevozo will go for the drop. He'll likely try to plant in Pulse spot, and as you can see, he's just waiting, trying to find his footing, and there we go. The case starts to go down. Salvage watching from above will be holding Dirt, and he'll fire some shots, and main stairs coverage will come through. Yusuke gets one, but Defiance with the refrag onto Nevozo. Now it's a 2v3. The planter down. One of them has to go in and try and recover that diffuser, or at least go for the frags. But this is going to be a round for Lycus Empire, and the first one in a long, long time. They're still playing indecisive. You can't win by holding angles, guys. You got to start pushing in, and the decision will come just too late. They walk into the waiting arms of Lycus Empire. They pick up their second round in, I believe, 5 rounds. It's the very first one.
It is going to be Lycus Empire to take a round that's so important to get them back on their feet. Again, it is Clubhouse defense, so they're going to have the advantage in some way, and it's definitely got to be now. Because if InControl could just keep getting control and snowballing down this entire game, maybe that 7-1 prediction wouldn't have been too unrealistic. But it is going to be 5-2. We are going to finally see Lycus start to crawl back just a little bit here, as they are going to be going into CCTV cash. And Lycus, I don't think they gave away a lot of free frags that entire game. I think that's what they played, kind of aggressive, but at the same time, whenever it came to, like, for example, the kitchen hatch being opened up, they played really safe. They played for that post plant, just getting ready, waiting, making sure that you have the advantage before you start swinging stuff. So really well played to them. You're going to be seeing a cash hold. Looks like it is going to, I want to say that that's going to get reinforced. Is Cal making that for sound, or is he actually opening up the construction wall? That must be for sound, right? Is that actually a strat? Are we going to see this? Okay, so they're going to shotgun a line across the construction wall. That is really interesting, because that is a considerably strong wall for the defenders kept reinforced. But it's going to be wide open. I'm really interested to see how this works, because the way you see they're set up, Logi Wall, excuse me, Logi Wall is completely reinforced. So is the single panel. So they want to force InControl to push them through the doorway and through the window, and I think that's why they're using the hole. Then again, if InControl get construction, they basically make Green Box extremely difficult to play. I'm interested to see how this works, or if it works.
I'm as well, and it's clear that the focus is very much on construction. The question is, will InControl focus that, will they focus that part, or are they going to, go for the more standard garage style of clear? The plat wall will be open, that part that no matter what side you're attacking will always at least have an attempt be made at it, and it will be successfully. Again, due to that Thatcher, the exothermic charge can get placed on the wall, no problem. It's just the mute device behind it. You can bypass that immediately. And then, as you can see with the rotate over, they will be going for that master bedroom construction sided clear. Now, obviously, the one problem with that is your player in garage. If he's not cleared out, that's an issue. But thankfully, they thought of that. Bone on plat wall repel will make sure to watch the rotate in or anybody making a play. Again, but the final point that I want to mention, and then I guess now that they're seeing that Logi Wall is in fact reinforced,
just
keep
hammering
just
away.
Keep hitting it. Just keep going for it.
It'll go eventually.
The Maestro is the player inside a garage. He has evil eyes that are likely in the bomb site. If they don't clear out garage, he's going to be able to remain alive. Come on, dog. You gotta expect it at this point.
That is where the holes come in.
Come on, guys.
That is definitely where the holes come in. Defiance is going to impact trick the wall, and it's. Oh wait, what? Is it jammed as well? Oh my gosh, they're not catching a break. That is the last Selma. Oh, I guess he can pick it up, but still.
And they have one, and they have an exothermic if this one gets impact trick. But again, no impact grenades left, so it will be open. But it's kind of an awkward hole to say the least. Might be made clear due to the last one, but hey, you got Logi Wall. That's something.
Just have 1 minute remaining, however, if you are in control. So you're going to have to start speeding this up just a little bit. You can see Exile's fingers are going to get ripped off by bullets, but that's all it's going to be done. No kill has been finalized just yet. It is still a 5 versus 5. As I say that, Defiance will find the OPK. It's going to be onto Exile, and as the rest of Lycus start to push in, they'll get control construction. But as I say that, a beautiful Z4 from Braxton underneath through the hatch inside of construction. He'll take down Salvage, I believe it was, and In Control are going to start to slow down here due to the Malusis, quite literally and figuratively. Gas grenade is going to come on out here. I'm not sure if Lycus knows. They don't. They don't know that Novozo is sitting in that corner. He should be refragged here because he's in a very vulnerable spot. He's 24. There's 20 seconds remaining here. Now In Control are going to have to push into Lycus's angles. Third gas grenade is going to get popped. It's a little bit far. Hourly will take down Bone. And through the floor, obviously there's a body in the way, but it's Klein side. And through green box, Lee Scale will get that kill on the Cal. However, it's going to be Hourly spraying it down with the 81. He'll take down 3. And in the words of somebody that shall not be named, it's like D-Day. Lycus Empire are going to take round number, I believe it was 9. No, round number 8. Yeah, round number 8. Next round was 9. This was round number 9. Round number 8 is going to go in the favor of Lycus Empire as they start to bridge the gap between this scoreline.
There you go. That just goes to show that not clearing out that player inside a garage, and especially the maestro of all operators, that's going to hurt you later on down the line. That's not to say that the play from Lycus Empire was, was completely flawless. One of the examples was that hole being made at construction. Novozo was ace, literally just walked up and peeked the tight angle into the bomb site, and the moment one defender peeked their head, they got taken down. If you make a hole in a bomb site and make a hole in a wall that is 90% of the time reinforced, you got to make sure you're watching that. And Lycus Empire had, I think, 4, or at the very least 3 bodies left alive at that point, and 1 player is still on red. I understand if the player in sight doesn't want to peek his head up, but somebody at the very least has to be keeping track of that. So that just goes to show that some of the setup that Lycus Empire are bringing out was being taken in the favor of the attack and being used against them, and that's something that they have to make sure is they're actually taking advantage and watching of all of the types of play that might be coming out, either for or against them. Now going to Gym Bedroom, we'll also bring out a Valkyrie operator that we saw, I think, 1 round, and Braxton will go to her. He hasn't been having the best game so far, but who's been having a great game, Jazz? Who's been having a great game? Hourly.
Novozo? Hourly!
I mean, Novozo's... Okay, now you say Novozo's stats are actually better.
Yeah.
By one
Hourly moment!
Hourly moment.
In case you didn't know, Alex is my duo. And I haven't casted him for 2... This is my... Shut up. This is my first time casting him in 2 years.
Since RCR 6 days.
Since the RCR 6 days, yes. It's been a long time coming. But... there's no bias here. I think this has been a very incredible game for both teams. In Control, they've kind of staggered a little bit, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. It is attack. It is the harder side to actually get themselves situated in. So it might take a few rounds for them to actually take a round. If they do, and Lycus are going to start taking advantage of that. You're going to see the C4 is going to be Z-Ping because Z-Ping is just so fair. As the rest of In Control are going to start to push in. I love Z-Ping, man.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it, Jazz. It's so fantastic. Though, to be fair.
It's so... You know, skills are... Callouts are not skillful, obviously.
No, you're right.
So you need Z-Ping. It balances the game.
I mean,
it makes it fun.
If you want to bypass a cash defense, maybe Z-Ping is what you need. They're going to try to
Wasn't there someone in top red who got shot someone through a wall that was hard? Defiance, he's got someone locked in, however, in his sights. C4 is going to pop. It's not going to kill anyone as Defiance is not hitting his shots. Defiance, you got to win those.
Boy.
And Novozo's going to take his head off. Defiance, man. Come on,
man.
You gotta win those.
You got to win
those.
Oh, no. Okay,
so he's having a rough one.
So you also saw as well, they had a pre-placed C4 underneath plat wall in case they pushed in. They pushed in, and Defiance, just like his shooting, was a bit too slow on the trigger and wasn't as accurate as he should have been. And that C4 got blown way too late, and at that point they already got in, killed his teammates out of cash. Sure, the kill got refragged, but still the attacking team comes away with that trade, and that's your main extension taken down, and now the bomb site starts to get taken down as well. Calls is walking on main stairs, and he dies. Brack takes a fight inside of Logi, and he loses that one as well. And now it's all up to Hourly on 25 HP to clutch a 1v4. Where have I seen this setup previously? I just can't put my finger on it. Well, it was a Bone 1v4 clutch, in case you forgot. And all right, we'll start with Hourly getting a kill, but again, he's 25 HP. Not a lot of room to move, and because of that, In Control, on a great clear of the entire map, really, they move up to match point.
And it took them 2 rounds to get set up into attack, and now all of a sudden it is 6-3 match point. How quickly momentum can change in this game sometimes blows my mind, and you can already see it happening right now as all of a sudden what was a 5-3 looking like Lycus were climbing their way back up is now an InControl pretty dominant half. So right now, what Lycus need? They need to get themselves back on track on this site specifically. This is a really good site for them, for anyone. This site has become so strong as it's been played. So, with that being said, I think that InControl kind of started to adapt to it. They got a player down on green box. They started using nades, albeit it didn't last long because the sludge got C4'd. But if you're able to keep those players alive without dying to that utility, getting used to the fact that there's going to be a smoke and dirt, if InControl can find these really small things out and work around them or try and counter them, it could be their game right here. But at the same time, again, Lycus have a very strong site to work with.
Indeed, they do. And again, that thermite will come into play pretty solidly. Overall, this has been, I don't know. I appreciate both teams have shown a little bit of flexibility on their defense, at least in part. Obviously, in the first half, it was a lot of Exile switching in between different operators. You know, he was on Maestro, he was on Mira, Valkyrie. I think the only time he played Maestro twice, but then everything else, he basically completely changed what he was playing. And then on the side of Lycus Empire, Brack has shown that a little bit. He switched to Valkyrie, but other than that, it's been the same roles through and through. And that can work in some cases. If something's working in that lineup, you just have to adjust how the attacking team is playing and not worry about your setup all too much. But if you're just kind of running the same 5 operators, that can sometimes be a little bit, troubling if your defenses aren't working out. And sure, if Church and Cash have worked for Lycus Empire, as they have, that's solid. But now you're on match point, and if even one defense doesn't work out, if you fail to plug those holes and we go back to Gym Bedroom, and it's the same story for InControl, that's going to be the map win for them. And again, thankfully, because they have that thermite in play, they're going to be able to push through blue, push through dirt, push main stairs. And if even one player gets taken down, say Hourly on the Maestro or Cal on the smoke, that's a major operator gone, and you might not have much, fill in the blanks.
There really isn't an operator on this that you wouldn't want to lose. I think like your least valuable is Twist, just based on the utility, because you have impact tricks, you have smoke grenades, you have C4s, and you have Hourly being able to control the Maestro cameras and the impacts. So Twist is playing in blue. So if he does die, actually he loses blue control. Literally, if anyone dies, this could be a really huge snowball effect. There's so much utility to be cleared. If you kill one of those players, there's only one C4 on the board. There's 4 impacts, so Hourly going down or Defiance going down, not going to be the end of the world, but still, every player has some form of importance in this round. A very, very important form of importance. InControl are going to start to push their way down. You can see a C4 is going to be ripped, or sorry, rather hear it, as there it is. Novozo's going to survive it, though, because he's just Superman. Thatcher's going to have to disable the mute jammer. InControl starting to get their way through with the Selmas. You're going to hear them pop in the distance as Twist is going to go down. And that's usually a sign that blue control is now forfeited, as Bone is going to start to work his way down into Secret. Novozo, whether he knows it or not, has Braxton right around the corner, but he's holding firm right now. If they don't drone this out, they won't. Braxton will take down Novozo. He's got to reload, though. There's only 17 bullets in that SMG-11. The Fuser will go down. 45 seconds remaining. Braxton with a headshot on Yusuke. As another player comes down main stairs, he'll get the frag, but it's a 2 versus 4. The damage has already been done. 2 versus 3, however. Salvage is going to take down Braxton. And it's going to be all down to Hourly right now with this angle. This could really help if he doesn't get shot here. Or sorry, that's Defiance. Excuse me. I was expecting him to be there. Cal's also got smoke grenades. This is a very aggressive position for Lycus to be holding. They're going to be relying on the utility as there's only 20 seconds left. But Defiance, Exile will run into Defiance's bullets. And now Sherble trying to push in. He'll take down Hourly. 1 versus 2. He's got to deal with 2 more players with only 14 seconds left. Is it happening? Most likely not. But you can't down him just yet. Cal's going to go down, but Defiance will get the refrag. And Lycus Empire will keep us in Clubhouse just for the time being as they take their 4th round. And will keep on chugging away. Very close one there. Almost a clutch there from the Thermite, but can't do it just yet.
That just goes to show, again, you got to diversify a little bit. Can't have too many eggs in one basket. All the push, 4 members of InControl Nation all go down main stairs. Now I'm not blaming them. Maybe they were denied map control. Maybe it was, much harder to take kitchen hatch or dirt or what have you. But that's the issue. When you focus so much on pushing down one area, if one player is just in a good spot, or if you fail to drone out a spot that you've thought you cleared, as they clearly thought Barack was not going to be playing that close on church wall. If he's able to make a play, that's almost the end of your attack. And you saw he dropped diffuser at the bottom main, which can already be watched by the defense as there are holes that have been opened or sound cues to be obtained. And then he got one more for his troubles inside of Moto. Now the two people that you sent in to actually open up space for the rest of the team in the bomb side and make the execute come down, well, they've been felled by one guy because you didn't drone him out properly. Now at that point, your attack is to pick up the pieces, and it all fell down from there. Great job by the Thermite to, down count, bring it to a 1v1, but beyond that, it wasn't enough. Still, it's only one round necessary for InControl to win, and they just have to try and play for that gym bedroom. That's the only site they've won. If they lose cash, sure, that's tough, and it's going to be really close if Lycus Empire pick up the pieces in that very final round. But if they lose cash, and they still try to just go for that gym bedroom win, that's all they need. That is all they need to make this work.
Gym bedroom is a very interesting site, as obviously InControl are pretty decent at it, but want to see what Lycus can bring. Obviously, if they lose this cash defense, it's wraps. Moving on to map 2, dust it off. But if they're able to take cash and then, like you said, snowball just into gym bedroom and win that as well, geez oh my. So Lycus just need 2 rounds in a row. It's not as easy as it sounds, to be completely fair, because this site has been pretty much not defender-sided throughout this entire game. I think there's a, what is it? 100% win rate when it comes to downstairs. I think there's one attack around one.
Yeah,
right?
Lycus won the very first round on Church.
Yes. But that's it. So, you've gotten your most strong bomb site out of the way when Lycus went downstairs. So now you're going to be bringing two bomb sites that are a very vague and gray area. We'll have to see what happens, obviously, as the rest of Lycus are just positioned in a very safe sort of environment. They've got the same strat going, and it really worked out in terms of the stall game last time around. I mean, you had Impact Tricks going out on the Logi wall. You have Twist underneath, actually. That is interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, as Exile and Twist actually might just meet at the halfway mark. So, the way that I see this, Lycus are going to stall out on construction, but also the thing is that you have to be careful if you are Defiance, because that construction wall is not castled. So Defiance peeks his head just one bit. Yusuke will take advantage. You can see the Selmas are going off here, one at the very bottom, but it's going to get Impact Tricks as well. Defiance takes down 2 Selmas. Now all that you have left is 1 Selma and an exothermic charge. Beautiful shot there from Salvage, however. Sorry, Sherble. It's going to take a little while to get used to that. It's nice shot there from Sherble.
Takes a little bit.
And it's Twist. Wait, he got past the Claymore?
He just bypassed the Claymore.
Oh my goodness.
He literally just walked up past it.
That could be game-changing. That could be game-changing. Defiance is going to take down Navozo. It's going to be 4 versus 4.
I mean, you saw the patch change come into effect there. Exile put down a Claymore. That's not something that was on Ash before that patch. But he tried to put it down, and thanks to Twist, he can go for a flank, but Defiance might just finish all the work before he even gets there. The Malusi has 2, but there we go. Twist at least gets 1 for his troubles. And it's a 2v4 in the favor of Lycus Empire. Bone still inside Plat Wall and Exile on the balcony will try to make work with what little they have left. And Bone just almost spots the head of the Maestro playing inside a garage. Exile's rotated over, but construction still hasn't been cleared out. Plenty could peek him. He'll jump in. I don't know if that was the play, but hey, at least an attempt was made, and Bone won't even get the angle he was watching. Hourly just swings against that gunfight in Lycus Empire. They're 1 round away from bringing it back. This is the moment. You've won basement and you've won CC. 2 sites that you've played twice and won twice. But you have to go to a gym. You have to go, well, you don't have to go to a gym. I'm sure you all are plenty athletic as you already are. But if you truly want to lift up a victory at the end of this map, you have to win the site you have been able to win. I thought it was clever. But you have to win the site you haven't been able to win once yet. And this, it's fitting that the most key round will be the one that could send us, to overtime.
I do think I need to go to a gym.
I think we all need to go to a gym. I don't think. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Ignoring the fact that it's COVID, motivation
doesn't need to. He's flexing on us with 13 kills.
That's
and there's another player on 10 kills. I think it's Defiance.
You make a fair point. Defiance was putting in the work. He was like Atlas lifting up the world. I like that. I don't know. I didn't expect
Defiance is kind of known as the trash talker. He's got the stats to back it up so far.
I mean, you know, he's no Hourly. Hourly's got 13 right now.
He is no Hourly. He is no Alex. Alex is Alex. Sorry, continue.
I think Jazz blacked out for a little bit there. You okay?
This rage. Just getting this rage built up to defend my duo. My Staker duo.
Not biased, we promise.
I'm not biased. I don't think
I know
biased.
you're not. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This will be interesting.
Although I do love Hourly.
So, and the one thing, if you recall, Hourly was left in a 1v4. One of the main reasons Hourly was left in that situation was because the hold inside of Cash was pretty not successful. That person actually directly playing inside died, and the person on red stairs, who was Defiance, who, if you recall, missed some shots, to say the least, to put it mildly.
Oh my goodness.
They were able to get a trade, but the extension virtually collapsed. Now, we also seeing something that InControl had, which is they had a Cash extension, but for the first 30 seconds, it didn't actually have someone in it. But now, okay, have rotated somebody in, so at least it's there. And with Defiance playing inside and nobody playing on red stairs, sure, you're missing an element of support, but this means that your defenders are much more safe inside the site, and that same thing that kind of happened last time is way less likely to occur. Already a strong adaptation coming out from the defense.
Impact Truck's going to come out here for Defiance, and I mean, this has just been the name of the game so far in Clubhouse, is these Impact Trucks. They are so strong. So, InControl are going to have to kind of stall down here. Navozo is going to have to find a way to get himself in. There's another Impact Truck probably going to go off. Yes, it will. So Defiance has gotten rid of 2 Selmas, and he's gotten rid of the ace. A beautiful shot onto Navozo as he'll just drop the hatch. And it seems like Construction Control is being held firmly from Lycus Empire. That's just going to be Navozo to go down with no refrag ability. But Construction is actually given away. So InControl can get themselves into Cash given the right angle, because nobody is watching that construction wall. The only thing that can basically take InControl's control once again out of Cash is some sort of flank or somebody playing inside of construction. There's none of that at this very second. So InControl are going to get construction and Cash, but they've also lost a player.
That's true. Navozo being gone, he used a little bit of his ace charges, and that allowed them to get that Cash control. But because he's gone, he's not going to be able to have that same impact elsewhere. But Salvage with those exothermics can at least try to open Jacuzzi walls. You can see he's currently trying to do. Will he get it? That is a question. Yes, you can hear it go off. New devices have clearly been dealt with, and the wall will explode, and that gives them a key bit of control for the attacking team. And even with the deficit in man count, if they can play their positions properly, maybe even Yusuke work a pick off this main bedroom window, the odds could go in their favor. And they still have control of the diffuser. So, again, this is not over yet, but it just might be about to. 35 seconds, the Thermite swings in, takes down Hourly. That's the Maestro gone. Now he's gone as well. A refrag comes out, but the scoreboard lights up all sorts of colors, but it's still Lycus Empire to come out on top, at least for the moment. They will continue to do so. Braxton with the C4. Bone gets 1, but he's got to cut through 2 more on low HP, but he gets 1. It's now a 1v1. Defiance is the only one left. He's on main stairs. He doesn't have a C4, but he does have Diffuser, and the info as well. Pings come out. It's Bone to recover it, and on low HP, Defiance just has to wait. He doesn't have to play this aggressively. He just has to wait for the Zofia to get the plant down and then push in and recover it. The Evil Eye has been spotted. He goes for the defuse. Will he get it? No, he won't! Defiance takes him down. Being anticlimactic. I say that, actually, I lied. It was a 1v3 clutch. But it's overtime,
Wow.
Jazz. It's overtime.
It's a close game! I knew it!
They brought it back.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. This is such a close game. I have never been so excited to cast a game in my life. I knew this one was going to be close, and it's coming to fruition. Lycus Empire will take us to overtime on the first map, and it's Clubhouse, baby. It's Clubhouse of all maps. That's not a map you expect us to go to OT. It's usually who defenders win. But we have it. We have overtime. InControl are going to be starting out on attack here. They've proven that they can be a pretty good attacking team, but it's Clubhouse defense. I hate to make that the blanket statement of today, but I mean, we're going to see it tomorrow as well. Sorry, not tomorrow. Next map as well. It's Oregon defense. It's Clubhouse defense. You have the advantage. And now that all sites are unlocked, you're going to see a basement defense, which so far has had an extremely high win rate between both teams on defense. With not only having impact tricks, which has just been so powerful this game so far, but also Malusi's stalling power inside of dirt. All of this together has just made this site so dominant. I really do think that whoever wins their Church Arsenal attack is who wins this game. Will it be InControl? or will it be Lycus? Let's see as we move in to overtime round number 1. It's going to be round number 13 to the entire Clubhouse game. 10 seconds remaining until we get into the action phase of what has been such a close game so far. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I'm excited.
And I like that, we're talking about excitement. We're talking about energy. And it's the same lineup brought by both teams. Well, at least a little bit of a change. There's been a bit of a, back and forth in InControl Nation about whether or not they want to bring Ash or if they don't want to bring Ash. And this time they're deciding to stick with it. They're deciding that, we had the Sledge, the Zofia, the Thatcher for a bit, but you know what? Screw the Thatcher. We don't need it. We know they have a mute. We know they're mainly focusing on impact tricking for denial, and you can't really bypass that with a Thatcher. Let's just bring the Ash. They'll also bring breaching charges instead of a Claymore, so that's some backup soft destruction in case Exile gets taken down, which there's been, at least in recent history, a bit of a tendency for that to happen, and again, just to be safe as well. Now, going into Kitchen, soft destruction will start to come out as it appears there's no C4, at least for the moment, being brought out by the defense, but there is likely impact tricking being brought out by Hourly on the Maestro. The Thermite charge will go off, and will the Maestro get it? No, he's not! Oh, it's Defiance actually standing under. There we go. That's on me. I wasn't accounting for the Malusi, and he proved me wrong. And he's gonna get a second one as well? Yes, he will.
No one is there to counter these impact tricks. They have literally been winning games here. Another impact trick comes out. It's going to be a trade, however, as both Braxton and Exile find themselves a kill. All on separate players. Your main fraggers, I guess, are going to go down here. As the Selma will detonate, but it's not enough to get the hatch. There's only one Selma. And the impact trick has just done enough damage. So the hatch is completely sealed off. It is completely sealed off. And Twist is going to take advantage. He'll try and take down Exile, and he will. He's going to get run away immediately as to not get refragged as well. InControl are being punished right now. This is not the attack that we need to see from InControl. A team that absolutely need this attack in order to win this game. They have theoretically speaking, they have a maximum of 2 attacking rounds to 1 defensive round. That's not easy to go through. So far, Lycus Empire have a deadly roam going on, and the kitchen hatch is sealed for them. So this is not looking good here if you are a fan of InControl.
That much is to be certain, and the rotate will come out. The attacking team will try and stake their claim on blue, but again, Twist has not been dealt with. He's been left in the wind. He's nowhere to be found. He's immaterial for the attacking team at the moment, but if they've forgotten and don't drone him out upstairs, and he can likely go for a flank in these final 30 seconds. You can see him eyeing towards Oriole Pit, ready to make the drop, but Salvage is accounting for it. He might have seen the Jaeger through the bars, but he definitely heard the sound cue. As Navoso gets one on the side, he'll be able to pick that up, but will he get the... No, he can't! And the site pressure collapses well. It's Bone to try and make things work, but thankfully it's a 1v2, and Twist is off the site. If he's able to take down Cal, that is huge, especially as he has Diffuser, but he takes down the Jaeger as well. It's a 1v1 versus Cal. The smoke has 2 toxic babes, but they're not going to do much at close quarters, but no, he can't do it! He flicks just at the right second, but it's at the wrong spot. You need to land the headshot, my man, but Cal lands those. And like his Empire, they move to overtime match point.
This has literally been the closest game I've seen in quite some time. Every single round has come down to clutch after clutch. But for InControl, that is damning. They have not gotten a single attack without it being close. And that just proves it. That was so close. But they couldn't lock it out. That was probably one of the most important rounds of this entire map for them. That was the most important round of their entire map. Lycus Empire are now going to go on to attack. And again, literally, whoever wins their attack wins this game. I was going to say, whoever wins their... What I said was whoever wins their defense or whoever wins their attack downstairs wins the game. My point still stands. Had InControl won that, we could be seeing a completely different outcome. We could literally be seeing an 8-6 from InControl. Now, they have the strongest site in the game, but no round to talk about it. So, it's going to be even 7-7 if InControl can't take their most dominant site with the impact tricks that they've been dishing out like crazy. Let's see if Lycus will be able to win this attack, however, as they are going to go back down onto defense if they win round number 14. We'll see what happens. This has just been such a close game between both of these teams who are equal. They are quite literally equal. They are so equal.
One interesting thing to note, by the way, through all 6 of Lycus Empire's attacking rounds, there was one lineup. It was Thatcher, Ace, Ash, Sledge, Zofia. They've learned a little bit from InControl, though. They noticed that their issue was if they get impact tricked even a little bit, and there was even one of those Ace charges that gets taken out, they're in deep trouble when it comes to pushing. So they've now said, you know, maybe Ink are right. Maybe we don't need that Thatcher nearly as much. Let's put Braxton on Thermite, and that opens up way more options. And since InControl aren't bringing a Mute, and it's also Basement, that's not going to have nearly the same level of impact as it would if a Mute or Arcade was in play. And on top of that, remember, Lycus Empire, the only team to win a Church attack, and that was even without a Thermite when they were stuck into pushing those same angles and taking those gunfights that they had to because they lacked hard breach. Now that they have way more options, this is huge for them. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they win it here. C4 will go out, or at the very least be pre-placed, waiting for someone to push inside of Kitchen. Another factor is Exile playing on main stairs. Again, playing that aggressive role we often see, but I believe he's might have been droned out by Defiance, but I'm not entirely sure as that drone is going upstairs. But again, either way, still a minute in. Just now starting to take Kitchen control, but there you go. The pre-place by Navozo is read perfectly. And now the sledge gone. That's your main source of soft destruction. You have to rely on Twist for the breaching charges, and I'm not sure where he's pushing. Then you also have this dirt push as well. Flashbang's going in. Goyo shield gets blown up. Salvage is going to have to retreat unless he wants to play close with the shotgun. That's looking like, at least that second option, might be what he's choosing to do.
Gas grenade is also going to pop here as InControl is starting to delay a lot of time. We saw Sherble on this position before. A little bit of a missed gas grenade there, but it's still going to do what it's intended to do, and that is block passage into Sherble's territory. As Twist is just going to play this as Braxton rotates his way in. They really want dirt control. What we've seen time and time again is that it's a 1-for-1 trade. You have 2 versus 1 on Sherble. Sherble gets 1 and then dies. We've seen that, I think, twice now. Third gas grenade is going to go out here as 1 minute remains. The stall game is incredible, but he's out of gas grenades. So now it's going to come down to shotguns. Concussion's coming on through here, and Braxton's just going to shoot through the smoke. So it's not a 1-for-1 trade. It's an easy kill onto Sherble, and it's going to be even man count with dirt control taken by Lycus Empire. That is such an important kill here. Now the rest of InControl are going to have to start being pressured, and you can see Exile's going to rotate out. Braxton, he's already made his way down into main stairs, trying to push out Exile, who is now gone, but Bone is on the flank here. He's been such a power player in some of these early rounds. Can he make it one on the late round? Cal's going to lose some HP here to the Maestro Zap. As 25 seconds remain, and InControl still have a player on the flank. Cal is losing so much HP right now to this Maestro Zap. Smoke grenades are going to come down, and that's going to cause Cal to go for this execution. He's got to be careful of utility flying at him as Bone is still on the flank right now. Owlie's going to drop. Navozo has actually denied the plant, and there's more Maestro cameras everywhere to try and deny the plant. Owlie's on low HP. He's going to die, and it's going to be InControl to take the defense in a very nail-biting round. We're going to max OT on Clubhouse. Oh, my goodness.
It's not just max OT, my friend. It's max OT.
No.
If we lived
it's infinite. Infinite.
If we lived in a normal world.
Oh no!
But we don't live in a normal world. We live in SCS.
We're going to G2. We're going to G2 Empire mode, aren't we?
Maybe we'll have to see. I mean, hey, that kill inside of dirt, that was one of the big reasons that the attack for Lycus Empire was just stopped in its tracks. Was that smoke usually getting a trade? But Braxton spraying through the smoke was absolutely massive. But the issue is kind of that issue with the way they've been attacking it every single time. Just dropping down that kitchen hatch, not properly clearing out the Maestros made it exponentially harder by Defiance's frag grenades being lost before they could be properly utilized. It's so hard to make that push work, and it's so easy for the defense to just pick you off, and as Navozo did, rush up, take the defender off guard, then just try, or take the planter off guard, then just try to run away. And even when he got refragged, at that point, it was chaos for the attacking team. Now they'll go to the defense, they'll move to cash and CCTV, and this is just, again, one by one, the team going through their catalog. Okay, Church worked, let's try cash defense. If cash works, we're in the same boat as we were last time, and Lycus Empire will have to win an attack again. But if InControl take this round, then their job is much, much easier, especially because they've played every single bomb site on their defense, and they've won it. Now, Lycus Empire did as well, to say the least, so they're both in the same boat. But still, if InControl managed to win this attack, I think that makes it so much better for them going into their next defense, because they have a flawless history on cash.
Infinite OT rings its bell here as Braxton is looking for a SMG-11 spawn peak. That is not something that I see often. That is definitely not something that I see often, and if he dies, oh boy, what an interesting way we would have. Now, stuff's gonna get interesting here. If you're not familiar with Infinite OT, you need to win 2 rounds in a row in order to take the game. We're going to be here for a long time if that is the case, because these teams are so close. Let's see if it works out, however. Hourly's going to lose an Evil Eye here. It's a very strong one that can look into the entirety of CCTV and a little bit of Cash, and also a little bit of Garage. Now it's gone. InControl are going to start to push their way into Garage as well. They have players with nades, or they don't actually. They don't have players with nades this time around. Very interesting to see that. They have Exile on Capitao instead. No Sledge, no nades. So they're going to force out the player in Rafters with Capitao. Yusuke is going to get the opening frag here. It's going to be onto Hourly. 4 players on double digits. So I was going to say impact frag, but you have 8 players actually in this entire match on double digits. So I'll basically be calling everyone an impact frag. So we got a lot. We got a lot to go through.
To be fair though, that was a big impact frag. That was
definitely
that was the Raptors player. I was gonna say they. Oh no, Twist! What are you doing? He's just going for the peek in secret. He gets taken down. Yusuke's on a double so far, and that's the main roamer and the main player inside of Garage. Hourly on Rafters was the undoing for InControl's attack for multiple times in a row. Not only do you lose those Evil Eyes, but you lose that bit of map control and your top fragger as well. Not even at the expense of Firebolts, like I thought Exile was going to have to use. The fact that Yusuke was able to land that shot, and the utility is freed up, and now Defiance falls as well. This is looking like an InControl round, my friends. The 2 Firebolts will fly out, do a little bit of damage to Cal, but Brack is able to rotate and take out Navozo, the ace. The Planter's been falling down as well inside the site. Can they get the 3rd? No, but Yusuke's still in Garage, and the bomb is, or the case is inside the bomb site. It's a 3v2 still in the favor of the attacking team as Tracers come all the way from outside of Platwall and fire down onto Brack inside the site, but both the defenders remain steadfast in their positions, and at least for the very moment, still in, over half HP. You can see Exile prepping those smoke bolts, ready for the rush in to try and recover the planter and to get actually that bomb down. There's no C4s on the side of the defense remaining, so the play from below won't work, but the shots from Brack will. Now Exile's gone, it's been even to a 2v2. A 2v5 clutch in the making. Well, we'll just have to see. The final Toxic Wave, or one of the finals comes out. Yusuke gets down, Bone gets 1. It's a 1v1, and he manages to get Brack! InControl, they do it! They win their half on attack, but it's not good half yet. You still have to win 1 more round in a row, Inc. Don't get too excited. But you've won a CCTV cash defense and stopped the 2v5 clutch from Lycus Empire that came way closer than it should have. But now that you're on the defense, this is where you make your moment happen.
Why do I have a feeling that we're going to be here for a very long time? Actually, I take that back. InControl have just won an attack. That is alarming if you are Lycus Empire. That is really alarming. This could be the map decider. You can obviously see on the top right of your screen, it was a 5-1 half on Clubhouse, and now here we are in Infinite Overtime, and Exile is going to come to desperate measures with a Warden. I was going to say with a Clash, but with a Warden.
Oh, I got scared. I got scared.
we were about to go down the deep end.
Can't make my heart do that, man. I mean, Clash Shield, Warden 1.5, kind of,
You also have Exile with a deployable shield, so you have 2 deployable shields on the side of InControl instead of 3 C4s.
Well, 2 deployable shields, 2 C4s. I mean, that's
a lot.
CCTV attack, that's gonna be rough to overcome. Also, by the way,
and gas grenades.
Everyone,
lest we forget.
Don't be scared. This is gonna seem crazy. Brack is taking Hourly's spot. Brack's top fragging right now. He's 15 and 12.
Chat is about to explode.
That's not to say Brack's a bad player. Not at all what I mean. But Brack's just playing more support roles, and Hourly's been playing, Ash and Maestro the whole time. Brack's finally getting up there. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
This might be the last round he has a chance to get kills, but hey, he's hoping to make that not happen. He did get.
He got a quad kill, which was almost a 5K clutch. Had Bone not been the most insane player on planet Earth.
And now he's just sitting secret.
While Bone has 11 frags, which is surprisingly low, even though Cal's on 5 and 11, that's surprisingly low for this game, to say the least.
I just realized Cal is 5 and 11. Wow. Wow.
That's unfortunate. It is unfortunate to be Cal right now.
He got that 1v5 clutch in ranked last night, and that was all the energy expended.
He was done.
He can't push.
He was done. So, while it is surprisingly low, Bone has gotten so many impact frags I'm pretty sure his cost is going to be through the roof. You can see CCTV wall is going to fall. No stranger to that this game, as it has become a very easy thing to do with the Thatcher. And you can't obviously bandit trick that because it's just so unsafe at the moment. But the rest of InControl are still steadfast. What the heck was that angle from Sherbal? Twist is going to fall, and he must just be screaming in TeamSpeak or Discord or whatever. Yeah, he knows it. Even that was beautiful from an SMG-11 of all things.
You can also see Exile's hold up top. Not so much a pixel angle, but a tough nut to crack.
Exile with the miss of the year right there.
Just like wow, that
just does not make sense, my guy.
Hopefully he makes up for it in game, but I mean, yeah, that was a miss to say the least. He's got to land his shots after that one. Navosa will take a little bit of damage, but nothing all too crazy. But again, the defense getting the opening pick onto Zofia. That's going to be huge. A grenade will fly in, do a little bit of damage to Defiance himself, and it won't get the mute jammer. It must have either bounced back or got stuck on top of the reinforcement.
It got stuck.
But that's all his frag grenades gone. They might not be able to get that mute jammer now. Hourly still has 2 Ash charges left, so they could try and go from below and take it out. But that's so much time wasted for the main facet of Lycus Empire's attack, which is this construction push. They either have to rotate Hourly down and waste a large amount of time, which is looking like what they are going to be forced to do, or they just have to push through angles. But they will go for that. Z-Ping will come out. Maybe he gets it, and yes, he will. The wall will be able to be open. Look at how much time has been wasted and health from Defiance. He's at 1 HP because of those toxic babes. Just one bullet from any gun on the defense, or even a little bit of a heavy wind might knock the sledge over, but that won't stop him from getting a kill. He takes down Yusuke and evens at 4-4. Hourly finds a second. He takes down Salvage, but it's Platwall to fall as well. Navoso gets 1, and we are back. The even man count. It's 3v3. And with Defiance still on incredibly low HP, he doesn't look at red, and he gets taken down from it. Navoso gets 1, and it all falls for the attack. InControl, they finally win after what seemed like might be ages. They close it out. They win there too, and I believe they win Lycus Empire's map pick as well.
What a game there from both teams, and this is the siege I love to see. We said this was going to be a close game or a 7-1 sweep, ladies and gentlemen. We have the former, not the latter. Thank God. This has been an amazing game between InControl and Lycus Empire. They have shown that they are probably this much better than each other. This much better. A little bit better than each other. They're so close. There's one player that didn't drop double digits that entire time. One player. 9 people dropped double digits. And this was, by the way, there was like 7 players before the infinite overtime rules kicked in. And there were 7 players that were double digits as well. All across the board. All across the board, every single player has shown up stats cal, and this has just been one of the tightest games that we've seen. Tight, just like Exile's pants.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher.
Exile. You gotta work on that. Yeah, you gotta work on that.
I mean, hey, you did well in game. You did well in game. I'll give you that. But that was that was a miss. That was a miss right there.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was. Anyways. We'll have a 5-minute break. You know, I gotta take a look. I actually left my light on that whole game, so I'm sweating right now, like my ring light that's shooting on me.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna take that off and just kind of like photosynthesize on the floor. But anyway, we will have a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Oh no, I didn't. Hold on, wait. There we go. I didn't turn on my light. Welcome back, everybody. If you somehow missed the first map, I don't know how you messed that one up, but It was a really close one. It was a really close one to say the least. The final score was it 10-8 or was it 9-7? I don't know.
9-7, I think.
9-7. Well, either way, it was a really close game. Required us going to OT. Thankfully, not into the massive round counts that I've seen come out of SCS, especially early on. But still, a very close game nonetheless. But on Lycus Empire's map pick, and now we'll be going to InControl's territory of Oregon. Now, Jazz, I predicted that InControl was going to win. I felt a little bit uncomfortable, but I feel a little bit vindicated. To say the least, by that first map. No disrespect to Lycus. Love everybody on there. But, how are you feeling? How you feeling, my guy? You feeling confident going into map 2?
Well, here's the thing. InControl definitely stepped up there. Your nose? Do you see your nose? It is so massive. Anyway, the thing about Lycus is that they're going onto a map that is so strongly defender-sided, and going back to the trends of last game where Clubhouse was just completely defenders on the board. I do think that it is going to be an early advantage for Lycus, but honestly, just call it my G Pro, because I'm just throwing my prediction, just throwing it out the window, because it is a very close game. I don't know who's gonna win, and I honestly don't want to predict because I don't want to jinx anybody, because this game has just been incredible that I don't think any outside factors need to affect it. So, so far this game has proven to us one thing, and that is that these teams are even. There's not one team better than the other. Yes, Lycus lost the map, but the performance shown by every single player on every single roster, I guess Cal dropped 5 kills, but everyone else,
aside from Cal, who wasn't having a great map 1,
everyone else dropped double digits, and they had 7 players dropping double digits before the overtime rules. Sorry, the max OT rules. So
normally I'd make fun of you for fence riding and not committing to one side or the other, but I think you're right in this case. I will give you that. I know I make fun of you a lot for very justifiable reasons. But
really?
Hey, you make fun of me for justifiable reasons too. It's a back and forth.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
It's just
why
our
I
relationship. Okay, all right. Let's chill out, okay? I know he's got to resort to these ad hominem attacks because he knew his argument for Lycus Empire doesn't hold any water anymore. It's a classic logical fallacy. Anyway, I was trying to compliment you, if you will let me finish. What I was going to say was, I still think Inc is going to win. I think you are probably the more correct one, and you're going with the safer option. Because even though this is Inc's map pick, this is Oregon. This is a tried and tested map that both teams are going to have good things on. And even if if they have VODs on each other, this is probably going to even out just the same way Clubhouse did, even though this is Inc's map pick. So I think you're right. This is probably going to be a close one, and I would be surprised if Inc dropped this map. But again, I'm sticking with my prediction that Inc are going to take it. But that's just me. I just have more confidence, I guess. Perhaps.
I don't want to be confident anymore. I don't want to be confident anymore. I can't say that I am, because this game has just been something different. I mean, there is no prediction that is right anymore. We got ours from both sides, however. And we're going on to what I thought was going to be boring maps, but Clubhouse has been crazy.
Clubhouse was crazy. Oregon, okay. So the one thing I will say about Oregon, and Jazz, you do have a bit of a point on this. Oregon is a bit boring, more default.
Stupid.
It's a bit more
horrible.
boring. It's a bit more boring. It was called Boregan in EU for a reason. It's not as dynamic as Clubhouse has the tendency to be. There's still potential, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the setups are more focused on anchoring around the site and not really going for those kind of flashy plays that we might have seen Bone go for example, on the side of InControl. The first band coming out is indicating that we're going to see a little bit of that style of play. Still time for it to change, but starting out with the Maverick band, you can't get much more standard than that.
It is interesting to see on Oregon, considering that obviously Maverick is very strong on Oregon, but like way more strong, way more powerful on Clubhouse, because he's literally useful on every single site. But we're going to see a Maverick ban anyway. Thatcher also going off the board. That is huge. Thatcher was a power player. A power player. Last round. Last map. For both teams. So to see Thatcher gone, my oh my. This is going to get really, really, really interesting, because that is someone that has just been so good for both of these teams. It has kept both of these teams' walls completely open. There's never a safe space for defenders. But at the same time, with Thatcher unbanned last time on Clubhouse, defenders were still very handedly taking rounds.
Yeah.
So you have to wonder if that's going to benefit defenders way more than you'd expect.
The fact that well, so there's two factors. Well, my being banned out as well, no real surprise there. So, elbow holds, out of holds might be a bit tougher. But one thing to consider, the fact that Maverick and Thatcher are gone, they're not in play, that frees up the hard breach options the attacking team has. No Hibana ban means that you can bring Ace, Hibana, maybe Thermite, but usually the first two is what you're going to see the majority of, but probably a Thermite since it is Oregon. But on top of that, normally when a Maverick and Thatcher gets banned, what inevitably follows is a Cade ban. Why? Because the two operators, being Maverick and Thatcher, that have the ability to cut through Electric Claws, or at least traditionally, as there is a Twitch being brought, she can also disable Electric Claws, but she's not often brought. Those two main operators, being Maverick and Thatcher, are no longer on the board. And since the Cade is still in play, that means that getting those hatches is virtually impossible without the presence of a Twitch. And since Exile has switched to Hibana, those Electric Claws are going to be massively influential. They might not be the sexiest or the flashiest of plays, but the fact that they won't be able to cut through those Electric Claws unless maybe they go from below on a wall, if they're on those hatches, the odds are they're not breaking them as hard as they might try.
Yeah, definitely. That is one thing that they have left unchecked. With a Thatcher ban and no Kaid ban, oh, this is going to get really interesting. Will we see Cali? Probably not. There's a lot of things that you'll do just to get rid of a Cali. You can start getting desperate. And with no Maverick, hatches are just sealed. This stuff could get this could get really tough for the attacking side. This could get really, really tough. Really,
at
really
least
tough
they're
for the
bringing a buck,
attacking
though.
side. They are bringing a buck, but on a site like this, there's no vertical destruction. So,
yeah, that's,
so
that was the bid.
oh, oh yeah, just thought of that. Yeah, they are bringing a buck. So the thing, like Hibana's gotten really strong, right? He's gotten super strong with the new changes. But please, if you will, a very quick and easy reminder about Hibana in SCS. You have to be very careful whenever you are using Hibana because you are only limited to 6 pellets per player. However, if you are a player like Hazmat, you are allowed to play with the multiple pellets because if you have a 1.0 or below, you are allowed to use the 2 or 4 pellet configuration. However, if you are way too good at Hibana, like Exile is, who has a 1.12 rating, you are not allowed to use Rapid Fire. If you use Rapid Fire, you will be banned from SCS and ESA collectively.
You'll also be banned from Rainbow Six. You'll be battling.
Wait, can we take a look at that? He's using 6. Why is he using 6? Oh yeah, because it's not allowed. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But back to the game, it is very interesting to see that Exile actually has used a full set of 6 pellets because he
completely
can only use 4.
unironically,
Like, being serious. Yes, being serious. The fact that he used 6 pellets, you can open. What? Huh?
You good, dog?
Huh? Huh?
Oh, that was weird. It sounded like he shot, but then he did. I don't know.
He did. He did. He shot 2 pellets.
Just testing out the new features, I guess,
Of course.
The Rainbow Six laboratory, it's still new. He's still learning out all the kinks. So you just, wanted to fire just to feel something. Just to be, just to be wild. But as you can see, that freezer hatch was open as there wasn't a cage charge on it, but there is one on the laundry hatch. And since this seemingly is where InControl is staking their claim, this is going to be tough. Much tougher now that the buck has been gone, and Skeleton Key might not be the most effective on a site with little vertical soft destruction, but hey, a refrag at the very least for Exile onto Cal. The smoke is an even bigger boon for the attacking team. Those Toxic Babes being gone means the denial is only relegated to those C4s, but it doesn't matter if you're just able to kill them before they can even enter the bomb site. Defiance gets Navozo. Likely had already placed all of her air jabs, but still, at this point, it's just bodies for the Execute that are now falling and giving Lycus Empire the advantage. They'll still try to push through Freezer as Salvage gets taken down. I believe that was the one player, with Diffuser trying to go for the plant, and now what the defense has to do is set up a crossfire on that Diffuser, and the round should be there as Bone will rotate over. Right next to it could vault up, but he's in a rough spot to say the least. Exile will try to watch the flank, but there's really not much he can do, especially not much now that he's dead. And this is just all over for Bone. There you go. Gets taken down. Almost a flawless round, save for Cal being lost, but still a great dominant round from Lycus Empire right out of the gate.
Well, Exile is banned for life as he is used the rapid fire. But anyway. Good round there from Lycus, dominating. And unfortunately, I feel like that's what we're going to see a lot. That was a really dominating round for Exile. Or for, sorry, I'm so stuck on that Hibana. A really good round for Lycus. And I'm hoping that we're not going to see more and more of that. I'm really hoping we're not going to see more and more of that. Because that right there was a good example of why Thatcher Mav bans on this map can be super strong. Even though you have Hibana, who has just been buffed to a brand new level. Without a Thatcher, without any denial on that Kaid, it could get interesting. However, even more interesting, there is no mute, there is no bandit battery, and there is no Kaid on this upstairs hold, which means that Attic could be really easy to take for the rest of InControl, seeing as they have an ace. And ace obviously is very flexible in the way that he works. So this is going to be really interesting because Lycus, they're going to have to worry or rely rather on the utility burn. And you can see that coming into play. We have Hourly with Warden, a very uncommon operator, but with the 1.25x, you can argue that maybe his MPX is just a little bit better. So with no flashbangs, with a deployable shield, and with 2 ADSs that actually only burn 2 grenades per 10 seconds from now on. Or I guess 1 ADS burns 1 grenade per 10 seconds, but now you have 2 ADSs, it's 2 grenades per 2 seconds. This can be really interesting. I don't think this is going to be that same old that we saw on Clubhouse, because obviously there is no impact tricking. I think this is going to come down to utility.
Yeah, definitely. But then also, interesting thing to note, Exile's on Twitch. An operator that I think before this update, a lot of us, including myself, would be like, that's kind of a troll. I don't know why he would bring a Twitch. But hey, she has flashes now. That's a lot more useful. Now, and especially since Wamaya's banned, getting those flashes... They have 9. That's going to be plenty to burn the ADSs, especially with the ADS chains. They might have a little bit, an overabundance of flashbangs, as they actually have no frags as well. So, again, maybe it's just a lack of options. Could have brought Sledge. They just decided not to. But still, I think with the Twitch in play with those flashbangs, she's going to have a little bit of an increase in her pick rate. It's also why likely maybe Warden is getting brought. Normally on Oregon, he'd only be brought for kitchen and dining. Maybe playing, behind that single panel in kitchen. But again, either way, I digress. Cal is one of the opening picks for the second time in a row, and on smoke as well. That's extremely curious, I think, as well. Was he downstairs? I'm not sure, but if he was... It looked like he was downstairs, at least where the X was on the map. If you're roaming to smoke, that's kind of weird. No, he was inside the bomb site. Okay, but still, a massive pick nonetheless. Those toxic babes being gone before we've even reached a minute 30 left or even a minute left, that's worrying.
I thought we just had a poison smoke moment. Oh no, from the vertical holes, Hourly's going to take advantage of the 1.25x to magnify his headshot. Twist will take down Novoso at the same exact time, so your flank operator, ironically, has been flanked and will be taken down. The rest of InControl, however, are going to start to push up white. Exile has an idea with the 1x sight on the Twitch. It's a very powerful gun, you can't forget, but the utility is, with the recent Twitch rework, if you will, it hasn't been exactly the most powerful operator in the game. The rest of Lycus, however, are holding firm. They still have attic control, despite the fact that there is no hard breach denial. As the rest of InControl are just not going to focus on that attic push. It's all going to be coming in through white and through big window. Exile is going to be exchanging a few shots here. There's a Maestro camera, however, zapping down the stairs as well. So there's a lot of pressure, and specifically there's intel, so they know where this push is coming from. Twist will get a second kill here onto Exile. I believe he is underneath as well, so there's gonna actually, no, he's back above safely in the site. Salvage, oh my goodness, a one tap right onto Hourly. However, is immediately traded out here as Bone will go down. No withstand for him, and now it's gonna be a 1 versus 3. Salvage is gonna have to clutch us up with probably the best gun in the game. He'll take down Brack for his second kill of the round. Is it gonna be enough? 25 seconds remaining. He knows that Defiance is inside of attic, but not crouch level, as he's aiming head level. Salvage is going to get his way in. He knows the Jaeger's around the corner. He's going to take down his third kill of the round. It's all up to Twist. Or sorry, Defiance. Will Sherble clutch it out? He'll take Defiance under low HP. And he's almost going to get the kill, but he's not going to get it just yet. He's got a deployable shield, however. And Defiance is going to make the smart move just to run away. Sherble's going to have to force the plant. However, he's going to bait him. Oh, no! The damage is not enough. It was oh so close for Sherble. And Defiance has had it. He knows that he just won that round, and very well handedly. InControl are not able to clutch it out there. It's going to be 2-0, and the chat will start to light up.
Yeah, as you can see, there's some BM going on. That was extremely close, though. Defiance going for the reprieve.
Sherble is ruthless right now. He didn't even win that round, but he's ruthless right now.
Exile should start taking notes from his teammate, as that was
of course.
Brack is disputing the best map statement, but still, nonetheless, I mean, that was their map pick. It was their map pick. That's between the teams. Let's talk about that round. Very close coming out. Almost a great 1v clutch from Salvage.
Exile, another miss.
Exile just needs.
Why did you stop? Man. Yep. Yeah. Just listen. I hate to be that guy.
Just chill out, man. Just
unbind the text. Like, I can work with you.
Yeah, just close text chat.
Have you heard my Call of Duty trash talk? Lynx has.
I have.
I can work with you. I can work with you, Exile.
It's like that. I feel like a year and a half ago, there's like an Astralis ad with a Dr. Disrespect, just like teaching them how to trash talk. It's like that.
Oh
Jazz will sit you down. Jazz will sit you down. You know, it's like masterclass. It's an 8-week course. Don't have to pay for it. He'll do it for free. You'll be happy to. I'm sure you guys can figure something out.
In case you're unaware of the rare Exile banger, which actually he's 0 for 2 right now. Basically, what happened on Clubhouse is that Twist got a very tight shot, or got shot from a very tight angle, and he said, "That was a tight shot." And Exile, keyboard and everything, goes, "Tight like my pants."
And I was like, "Your pants."
Yeah, your pants. Tight like my pants.
So
if Twist was fat and he said your pants, banger, absolute banger. But he said tight like my pants, and I don't believe Twist is fat. I don't know actually.
Either way, it's like
that could be the next detective.
It's
I
like,
have a detective's hunch that Twist is not fat.
It's like you insulted his pants. You really got him on that one, dog.
You had him.
Nice one.
Well, you insulted his pants.
True. Fair enough, but either way.
So it's not doing wonders for him. Speaking of Twist and his tight pants, if he's fat, he's gonna take a tight angle onto Bone. Won't take him down, but will do a little bit of damage and get the intel needed for Lycus, who have a very interesting setup with the roaming smoke, or I guess the offsite smoke and the offsite Jaeger. Playing completely upstairs, the Jaeger, however, is unaware of Novozo, repelling into kids. And Twist will lose his life as a result. No refrag so far. Defiance is going to lose a lot of HP, almost impacting himself. He's going to be playing above here, but he's got extremely low HP. He's got to be very careful. He's being droned as well from Split. This could be really dangerous for his life. And if he's able to reserve it, it could be something good. He is going to run away and go down into Freezer to waste a little bit more time as InControl starts to get above control. However, Braxton is sitting very steady behind that deployable shield. He's got an option to rotate, but hasn't taken it just yet. As a matter of fact, it looks like he's going to go for the play. He's sitting close to where the bomb chassis would be if this was a kid's bomb site, but he's completely blind and stuck in the corner. I don't know if they know this, though. I think Novozo knows. Novozo definitely knows. He's going to pre-fire the corner, and Braxton will go down. Novozo will take his second kill. And InControl will take control of the top floor and start to open angles up with Exile on the buck with his very tight pants. C4 ripped here, and Hourly's just going to wait this one out. Tossed, but will miss, and Lycus Empire are down 2 players. Refrag having yet to happen as Novozo finds a triple kill here. It'll be Hourly to go down. He is not stopping here. 35 seconds remaining here. Defiance and Cal, the last players remaining in Defiance, is off site. Novozo, he'll find his 4th kill to end the round as Exile finds Cal. InControl will take their first round. A very dominant start here for Novozo, and it's going to be InControl to win an attack.
You know, the way we used to see that bomb site, or we normally would see that bomb site get played was, an extension inside a bathroom, maybe a Maestro playing there behind a shield, and, a stack with Jaeger ADSs and Wamai magnets. But ever since the changes and the fact that Wamai is banned, that hold it's not exactly the best. So what did Lycus Empire do? They rotated a little bit. They brought a mirror, put it inside a bathroom so you still had that control, and instead they extended upstairs. But the issue that is, they just didn't count for how thorough and effective the clear from InControl was going to be. Twist barely was able to put up a fight, and at that point, it was all left up to Braxton to try and delay as much time as he could. And while he did a pretty damn good job, I will say, it was 50 seconds when he actually got taken out, or 50 seconds left in the round. At that point, especially with Defiance on low HP, even if that extension, worked in the long term, there was not much that Lycus Empire could do as a whole after that. But still, they've won the 2 primary bomb sites, so they can at least, continue onward knowing that there's going to be a little bit more security and they're more favored to win this. They won't change the lineup too much either, so let me talk real quick. But no, actually, they will change it. They've adapted from a mute to the Cade, and that is really interesting to me, especially because, sure, they're bringing a Cali, and a Twitch. That's probably why they adapted, but still, it's kind of one of those things where maybe you should bring it just to be safe, but honestly, the mute's probably a better pick with those two operators on the board for InControl. Having the mute devices will not only deny intel, but also serve as a substitute for hard breach denial, like that Cade would have been. More laterally than vertically, but still, I like the adaptation from Lycus.
I think that a lot of the both of these teams have been adapting a lot. We don't see the exact same strategy every single game or every single round. There's always something different about it. So that's what I really like about both these teams, and that's why I feel like that they're so evenly matched. It's their adaptations. Defiance has been talking in chat a lot. Let's see if he can get his gun up, as he's got players pushing him in Big Tower, and he's playing a very aggressive angle at the bottom of Big Tower stairs. Defiance will get droned out, and he is going to fall back here. Very smart move to make, considering that he's going to fall back behind a Banshee as well as barbed wires. So they'll know whenever he's coming. Defiance, however, will take down who was talking trash to him. That is terrible, but he will get immediately refragged by Yusuke on the Twitch. So almost what I was going to say, a free frag here for Defiance, but he peeked it again and got refragged. So Lycus Empire, good start for them so far. However, InControl is trying to get themselves in to tower stairs. So this could be really good here for InControl if they're able to basically nullify Pillar as they have. Yusuke is going to get Pillar control, and now InControl can start to push from this backside.
That is true, and also taking down that ace is going to be massive. It's the only hard breacher being brought by InControl, and even if they wanted to get those hatches, like I mentioned earlier, they really have no more option. They have Pillar's control and a Goyo shield destroyed. Inside of Long Hall, be able to, it will, take away some of the defensive capabilities for Twist to peek out, but still, there's not many angles that InControl are going to be able to push through or cover in order to try to keep this plant down. That's going to be a major issue for them going into this final minute. They do still have a minute, though, to be fair, plenty of time. Brack will start to take some damage, but he's got a C4 ripped, and he's now perfectly in the position to throw it without retribution for the attack. He'll send it out. Will it get shot? And it blows Exile sky high and downs into Novozo as well. Thankfully, the Nomad will be able to be revived, but it's the man advantage for Lycus Empire. Great utility usage coming out from the Mute Abraxan.
Great C4 and a lower down Novozo. Yusuke will get a second kill here. There's another C4 and it lands. Hourly will take down 2. And it's going to be a 1. Oh my gosh, my mic just turned off. As Bone is left alive. Beautiful C4 from both teams. And it's going to be Braxton to bait out kill. Just waiting for Bone to peek as the Diffuser is dropped as well. Bone's losing a lot of HP. And and Braxton will get finished off here by Bone. Hourly and Cal left alive. Cal's got this angle, however, and he will win the gunfight against Bone. Lycus Empire will take round number 4. Beautiful stuff from them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Defiance, going for those 1-for-1s is always kind of like, it's a bit weird. I wouldn't say it's a bit weird, but it's always like, come on, dude, play a little bit more, more conservatively than that. Don't start getting too aggressive early on. But sometimes going for those 1-for-1 plays can work depending on the operator you take out. And taking out that ace was absolutely massive. The fact that the hard breach was non-existent for the attacking team the moment that he dropped and hit the floor, they couldn't take elbow control if they wanted, which allowed for that first and second C4 later on, since they simply just weren't able to open up the wall or get any sort of sight line into that. And then opening up the hatches as well, or not being able to, just again served to make overall the attack claustrophobic and forcing them to push in through either one way or the other. And if you're not taking care of that secondary utility and you're not, countering the people in the bomb site, though again, there was little they could do to counter those 2 C4s, you're easy pickings for the defense. And you're easy pickings for Lycus Empire, and they'll take those every time. Now they'll go back up to upstairs, and again, makes complete sense. No real changes in their lineup either, though I do believe they're bringing a Maestro instead this time, instead of the Mute. Solid adaptation overall. Then again, Maestro is kind of, especially on Oregon, he's an operator you can bring on pretty much any bomb site, and that goes for him in the meta as well. Yusuke on the Twitch could try and zap some of those Maestros, but I'm intrigued to see how much of those drones have actually been useful so far, and how much they've actually been doing. Maybe it's because the drone's small. I haven't been paying attention properly. That could be on me, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's been doing too much so far.
I mean, it's alright.
I'm sure it's doing something. I'm sure I'm overlooking something. I'll allow for that possibility.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna say anything because I want you to overthink it.
You can't
To
do that, man.
overthink
I always overthink when I analyze. I'm just like, I was like, man, I'm probably saying some whack stuff right now. Like everyone's in chat. They're all making fun of me. They're saying I smell. Like it's just.
You aren't saying exile wax stuff, to be fair.
That's true. You know, I can always count on the fact that I will never have, you know, a tight pants analogy in my casting.
I feel so bad. I love you.
I
Exile.
don't. I was
There it is.
It was dumb. I mean, no, Exile's a good player. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not disrespecting his play. He's a solid player overall. It's just that was a miss in chat. You move on. You get better.
You live your life. InControl are doing a very similar attack to what they had last time around, where they just push their Buck underneath, and that is the reason why we were seeing Buck on a attack that you would really expect not to see him too much. You know, or on a map, sorry, that you don't expect to see him too much. Obviously, it's because he's completely nullified on the basement, but he can be really underlooked and very useful on this site. As you can see, it's happening right now. Cal's going to be forced out of a position, and if they can corner him right now, he is quite literally stuck in this position right now. If they can find that out, that's a free pick onto a player with 3 gas grenades remaining. So, with that being said, not a single frag has gone in the way of anyone so far. As InControl just start to make the kids' dorms an extremely uncomfortable sight. You can see that the smoke is completely shunned here. He is completely locked out of his position. But Twist will get a refrag onto Yusuke, so at least you'll get a trade for that. But a Twitch is just not as important as the smoke. With 55 seconds remaining, your delaying power has significantly dropped.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that those toxic babes are gone, it's going to be big. And Cal's been in the opening pick a few times, and it's still resulted in wins for Lycus Empire, so maybe it's not as impactful as we think, but still, the situation you're put in is precarious, to say the least. Twist, you literally heard the air jab. Like, you heard it. I mean, okay, I guess that's just Twist maybe wanted to try to get a quick gunfight peek in, but I don't know, man. I think his headphones were off for that one. But either way, it's a 4v3 in the favor of InControl, and the smoke grenade's flying out. That means the execute's coming down. Salvage will try to go for the plant, but he'll quickly fall off. It's a kill for Exile, kill for Bone, and it's up to Defiance to try and get 4, but he gets a knife kill out of the planter. He just runs through the smoke. He doesn't even care, but he's still got to kill 3 more, and he can't get a single one. A ballsy play, to say the least, and one that worked out, but unfortunately, you got to see it all the way through. And for InControl, they at least see the completion of their second round.
Interesting stuff there from InControl.
Again, a bold strategy, Cotton.
Wait, is his name Stewie?
No, that's a Counter-Strike joke right there. You know Stewie 2K?
So, okay.
Are you too young? So, okay,
what?
you know who Stewie 2K is, obviously.
Yes, of course I knew who Stewie 2K is.
The joke when he was coming up in like pug games, right when he got picked up from Cloud9 was
walked through the smoke.
Yeah, he would always push through smokes, and there's clips of just people going like just like Stewie. There's people yelling at him and calling him an idiot because he pushed through smokes. That's exactly what Defiance did.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That's disappointing. You should have known that one. I know you were like I actually think you were 12 at the time. That's not a bit. I think you were actually 12 when those clips came out.
You're like 19, right?
I'm 19 now. So this was, I remember watching the Stewie clips when they first came out when I was in 8th grade. So that was like early 2016, late 2015. So you'd have been 12 or 13.
I see. Now, by chance, does your age equal the weight in pounds of your nose?
No, but we know for a fact that your weight and your age has an indirect correlation because, you know. I mean, just, you know. I don't be that guy, but.
I can't even rebuttal, man!
You come at the king, you best not miss.
At Exile, take notes.
at Exile R6 on Twitter, please take notes.
I mean, we know your hairline's got a correlation from point X to point Y.
So, okay, so here's the deal. You're having a real creepy R6 dick moment right now. You got 2 insults. You got my nose and my hair, okay? Can we get a third? Could I just entertain the audience?
What do you have? You have my weight. You have my weight. What else do you have?
Yeah, but your weight, that's like 240 insults alone.
I'm done, man. Just take this round.
I love Jess, by the way. I love Jess.
Take this cast. That is... Oh my goodness, man. The rest of InControl, I don't care anymore.
I love you, Jess.
I don't care
really
anymore about the rest of InControl. I don't care anymore. But we're seeing a very similar strategy I can't stop thinking about it.
I'm now I feel bad.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, you shouldn't. Lycus, they're running a very similar strat to what they had before. I think this time around, however, it's just gonna be Braxton upstairs. You can see Exile gets in very easily, but there's another layer of defense. Cal literally has. Oh no!
Oh,
if
come
you would have thrown
on.
that probably would have been a death. It would have been way too close for Exile to shoot, and it would have just been him gone. Exile obliterated and a soft breacher down. But it's not going to happen just yet. Braxton is still alive inside of kids' dorms, and this could be a really important play for him. Again, he is alone. Twist has rotated off, and last time around we saw Twist die top white. I think he got a frag for it, but that's about it. Smokeday gonna be caught by Exile, literally caught. Now Splashbang's coming through. They can confirm that Braxton is indeed running the exact same setup once again. But he's not playing. I don't think he's going to play for the rotate. Twist is going to get a kill onto Yusuke, however, not refragged immediately, and shot through the gap of the shield. Novoso will find a frag onto Braxton. That is really unlucky, and Kids Dorms Control will go into the favor of Lycus Empire.
There you go again for Lycus Empire, losing their smoke early on. Thankfully, Cal's there. Cal's there for his second kill onto Exile. The buck now gone. That's your main source of soft destruction taken down. Thankfully, Bone's there for the refrag. Now both of the SAS operators have been eliminated from this round, and it's an even 3v3. Twist is playing in essentially Jaeger spot. I always feel like we see the Jaeger play there, and he'll do Twist things and go for a late flank. The attacking team doesn't seem to be expecting it. Nivosa is not watching that way, and Salvage is on the plant, but he just spots the feet for a second. Can he land it? Nobody chooses to rotate off. A bad reaction, to say the least, and now the plant will be able to go down, albeit it's at the cost of Nivoso, and it's a 2v3 post plant. Now a 1v3 post plant, likely a retake from Lycus Empire. It's just up to Salvage to try and clutch this out. Again, only 23 seconds left. That's how long he has to delay, but the coverage is in spades for the defense, and you go prone. Oh. You want ADS there, my guy. Just keep watching the angle. Either way, maybe a bit of a misplay overall, but it's going to result in Lycus Empire. They move up 4-2 in their defensive half. And to be fair for InControl, that is where you want to be for the attack. Could have gotten more, but that's where you want to be.
Definitely where you want to be. It's a very, I guess, it's said a lot. Like, I hear this all the time. Oh, 4-2 split. Pretty good. This is Oregon we're talking about. Oregon 4-2 split. Amazing stuff. Beautiful stuff. If it was Clubhouse, it's cliche, but it is Oregon. Oregon defense is so good. And yet to have a 4-2 is great. And now InControl are going to go on to their defense. They only need 2 rounds of Oregon defense, which isn't a lot to ask for in order to get themselves back into contention. So with that being said, Lycus, they don't have a Thatcher and they don't have a Maverick. If InControl can just play wall denial, which they aren't, but they are, sorry, the Nivo's on mute. If they can just play wall denial, this entire defense is looking grim for Lycus. Or sorry, attack. This entire attack is looking grim for Lycus because, I mean, how are you going to get rid of the mute chambers? I guess the only mute chamber that I can see is really easy to get rid of is if you take control of underneath and then get rid of the mute chambers. But that takes time. And that takes time off of your attack. So they're going to have to be really prepared for that one. Attic is going to be extremely difficult to play around if the mute chamber stays up for a long period of time. So it's basically a race for how easily can you get underneath vertical control and get rid of the mute chambers. That is all it is. So let's see what happens.
Indeed, we will. Also on top of that, you got the impact tricks and on bedroom wall, and that's going to be really tough. It doesn't look like they're going for it though. They just got the mute jammer, so that should be easy to take out. Yusuke's on a roam as well. It always seems like one of the members on both teams are always just going for that deep roam. Normally it was Bone, but this time it's actually Yusuke. But again, both are the entry, so that makes sense. Bone will take some quick shots as the master bedroom barricade falls, but nothing to be gained from it. He'll instead just rotate into attic, and he'll be the main player, well, playing there. I hate what Yusuke is doing right now. I just want that to be put on the record. He's just sitting prone, in freezer, hoping they don't drone him out. Not a fan of that, but you know what's going to be funny? I guarantee it's probably going to work, and I'm going to feel like an idiot.
No one's droned him yet.
Nobody has, and there goes the opening pick for Novoso onto Twist. I feel like he's been involved in a lot of the opening engagements so far this series, whether on the giving or receiving end, but still great play by the mute, and you'll try to take advantage of the fact that his bedroom wall is open. An impact trick sails across the bomb site and destroys that charge, and there you go. Only a small hole opened in the wall, but still a great angle to be played by the attack if Navozo is adequately dealt with.
C4 is going to be dropped here by Navozo, and it is going to deny one of the Selma charges. He's playing extremely close in a very aggressive angle with no shotgun in hand. Defiance is going to find the first frag for Lycus Empire on this attack. It'll be Bone to go down. A very powerful player that we've seen time and time again get those important impact frags as Exile is having a little bit of trouble. But with that being said, you still have Maestro cameras alive as we point to Exile, and you still have a C4 on Yusuke and the gas grenades. We can't forget about that. So if Lycus keeps stalling out here on this trophy room or on bedroom, we could be seeing InControl really start to pressure Lycus out and snowball this. C4 ripped. It's not going to land its mark because no one is there just yet. But Lycus, it looks like they want to... Okay, so they're forfeiting the downstairs controls. They want to rotate back up. Smart move. Obviously, they need to get a move on here. Joe's going to come on in here. Navozo's going to get spotted out. And a beautiful cross here by Cal as he takes down two. A powerful double kill here for this round. And it's looking pretty good. Exile's got the 81, though. He's going to take down Hourly. Smoke grenades come on through. It's going to be the signs of a Lycus Empire execute. The Maestro camera's still up, though, so he could possibly go for denial. However, Kid's control is given to Lycus as Defiance finds his second. Yusuke is left in a 1 versus 3. He's a powerful player for InControl, but is he able to do it? Air jab is going to slam him into the wall, so his location is going to be known to the remaining attackers on this post plant. The drone will even solidify that. And Yusuke is in a whole world of trouble if he wants to try and win this round. He'll try and pre-fire into Braxton, but won't find the kill as the diffuser is planted deep inside of Kid's dorms. So this is going to be extremely tricky for him. He's trying to go for some headshot angles here. The time is ticking away. Half of the post plant is gone. Defiance will lose a lot of HP, but will not lose his life. But he will. But that's pretty impactless as 12 seconds remain and Yusuke is stuck. He'll get a second kill for his troubles, though. Trying to go for the 3K, but Cal is holding steady. And InControl will not be able to successfully win the round. Let's see if Yusuke can get the final frag. He cannot.
No.
So Lycus will take a very important attacking round, and they will widen the gap to a 5-2 margin going upstairs. However, what I can predict is that InControl will not play this again. They're not a very persistent team. They kind of want to get things going, so they're probably going to go downstairs. That's where things could get tricky.
That is where things could go a bit awry for the attacking team. Obviously, since they are restricted on hard breach and they're just bringing the ace. They might 6-pick, but honestly, with how they've been playing this match, I don't really see it. It's possible though, but either way, that Cade being brought by Salvage, it's gonna be rough. Ooh, a 6-pick from the smoke to the Mira, interestingly enough. You don't often, normally you'd see them both brought in conjunction. Maybe they just, well, actually, they kind of have a plentiful amount of C4s right now. I honestly, while the Mira's good and I understand it in terms of secondary utility and denial, maybe I favor the smoke, but still, depending on how rough getting those Miras could be with the fact that combined with the Cade, getting those hatches and the lack of vertical play is going to make getting those black Miras extremely hard. And I actually think maybe if he's setting up for an E-box Mira, that would make a lot of sense, since one of the big counters to this Mira is the fact that, well, you can simply open that hatch, Yusuke's reinforcing, and it's no big deal. But since there's no Thatcher or Maverick and no Cali being brought by Lycus Empire, simply throw an Electric Claw on that bad boy and you're all good. And that's elbow control and bunker control solidly in the favor of the defense for pretty much the whole time. So honestly, with the setup Lycus Empire coming out, or with InControl coming out, even though that smoke might seem like a bit of a loss initially, I think overall with how the ban phases and the picks have culminated in this is a really strong setup coming out from the defense.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, they're extending their control quite a bit, and that could really help against Lycus, who are going to have to clear a lot of utility without Thatcher. So with that, and with the Mira inside of E-Box, just basically almost completely denying them of bunker control. As you can see, they're even going to just rotate away. They know that this is going to be tricky. Bone is playing aggressively on these bottom tower stairs. He's not going to use his life away, though. I believe he is going to try and rotate down, or if not, play a little bit of a safer angle. Yusuke is going to lose a little bit of HP, however, as he tries to rotate off and get the drone. Wait, did Twitch just shoot him all the way through that wall into... He did.
Oh,
he just shot all the way into pillars through that wall. Oh, no, that is not the start that you want here if you are InControl. Yusuke will lose his life unnecessarily beautiful flashbang there from Braxton as the rest of InControl are going to start to get forced out of pillars due to the utility coming down. Bone somehow not blinded off of that one. Braxton's luck with flashbangs, as you can see, is just basically just don't go to a lottery. However, Bone is taken down to low HP, and all of a sudden, InControl are starting to feel the pressure from these tower stairs. Nade possibly chucked in to Bone. He's still alive, but he'll be forced out there. While the nade didn't finalize the kill, Defiance will. Started to push his way down, but immediately swung and retaken is Navozo. He will retake the pillars, and Exile still holding firm to E-Box. He is keeping InControl, well, in control.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
I couldn't have smelt that from a mile away.
That another nose joke, by the way. No, but certainly, Lycus Empire in the favor right now. Oh, Twist, that's.
Oh my.
What are you doing, my guy? Oh, now Brack is down on the stairs. It's not a second kill, but it's an even man count doing a team kill and a great flick by Exile. Now Cal suddenly, curiously enough, finds himself in a 1v2. Not a position we would have expected, but going against 2 C4s as well, it's not looking good for the ace to say the least. He knows that one's in E-box and he'll start to move into the bomb side, and he's just not enough angles. Not enough angles for him to cover. Both the defenders are looking right at him, and that's I think that's what we in the business call a bit of a throw. Bit of a thrown round right there.
Yeah, that team kill, quite honestly, might have been the nail in the coffin for that round.
A little bit.
Like, wow.
Nice shot though. Nice shot though. Got to give him that one. It was a good shot.
It was a beautiful shot. But here's the thing. InControl, they had a very strong setup, but their kids hold. I hate saying kids as a bomb site. That's why I try and avoid it. I try and say kids dorms. It's not great. I try and say kids dorms.
Defenders, protect your abused by attackers.
It's rough.
It's Either way, not as rough as that. Not as rough as that last round, but
yeah, definitely not as rough as that last round. That team kill was just. Ugh. But what InControl really their setup was just not really ready for a master take. They expected everyone to go into attic because it was just easy for the pickings, but that's not what happened. Instead, it turned into a master take that worked out. So I'm interested to see what InControl will try and do to counter this, because obviously with Navozo now on mute again for the second time, what we saw last time is that it was just easily cleared out. It's a little bit of time wasted, but honestly, not a lot. Let's see what they can do, as no mine means that utility burn inside of the site is pretty minimal. You're going to have to rely on your smokes and your C4s to do most of the delaying. I personally think that if InControl, or whoever gets the opening frag in this round, will take the round. That I just, especially on this bomb site, and especially the way that InControl hold it, where they rely on picks for specifically just for the site. I really do think that's what's going to happen.
And the majority of those picks can't be impactless like they were last time with Yusuke, almost getting that 1v3 after the bomb had already gone down and there wasn't enough time to defuse it. You gotta be like Navozo right now, playing close on the wall with that shotgun. That is a beautiful spot if you're a mute or if you're a smoke. Just playing that close to the shotgun, I mean, perfect range right there. But also interestingly enough, I'm surprised that they aren't going more for those impact tricking. I mean, you see Exile bringing 2 impacts. Normally, you see a Maestro playing behind this wall, and when an ace charge gets put on, they throw an impact below, and I think it lands on like a TV or a fan or something and impacts up above, but instead he's just waiting on the side. But the problem with that strategy is you have to wait for the wall to already get open, and it allows an angle and Defiance. I mean, that's not a team kill, but that's a team kill of sorts, and an actual kill, the first actual kill, and well, this round at least, will come from Navozo onto Cal. Salvageson says, "You dummy head, Defiance," and you know what? I hate to agree and hate to stoop to that level of name calling, but it's a 3v5 when it probably should not be. And also, you just lost your frag grenades. So
InControl did get the opening frag. So I'm technically right. Because you can't call a suicide.
I mean, if we're going off technicality, that's technically an opening kill in the favor of Lycus Empire. Technically.
Well, what is that? Interesting air jab there from Seprak. Oh, he was trying to bait out Navozo.
That's how you read one.
Working as he's down. Read him like an actual book there. He read me too. I wasn't even expecting that.
That was weird to say the least. I don't think you don't often see air jabs used for bait at that close an angle, but he just shot it on the floor and he was like, "Is he okay?" He's trying to clear the ADS.
Oh,
Are
he's
you really gonna try?
ADS.
I mean, that must be what he's doing. He's just going in for the knife right now, and he will finally finish off the kill. But Braxton got a bit greedy there. Exile takes him down, and now it's a 4v2 in the favor of InControl. Salvage even has to laugh in chat about that one, and it's kind of justified. 23 seconds left, not much for Lycus Empire to do. They're just relegated to pushing through Wolf Doorway, Wolf Doorway, trying to make it work, and it's not going to happen. Hourly gets taken down. There's one more left. It's Twist, and he's not going to get one. No, he will, actually. He'll get one onto Yusuke, but it's only 10 seconds left, and he walks right into the arms of Salvage. There you go. A teabag as well to signify that InControl. They're almost evening it. It's 5-4 now.
We're back to that close game that we had, and it really just comes down to mistakes.
Yeah.
To personal mistakes from Lycus. Defiance naded himself. He naded himself. And then the opening pick was Lycus being dead. It was an opening pick for InControl. I mean, no other way around it. The team kill last round definitely gave InControl the map, or the round. But the nade solidified this round. Quite literally cemented the round. So
I agree.
I really think that InControl played that well, and it was that combined with a team kill downstairs 2 rounds ago and a self-nade this round.
That's the thing, though, is that
you can't do that in Comp Siege.
Even if you're playing well, which to be fair, InControl are, not taking anything away from them, but you don't need to play as well as you might otherwise if the enemy team is just doing 20% of the work for you. And that's happened twice in a row now. Like, come on. Lycus Empire are better than this. Like, we all know that they're better than this.
Yeah.
Anyway, beside the point, Kitchen Dining will be the next bomb site being brought out by InControl. Or Kitchen Meeting. Forgive me for the inaccuracy. And the way we'll likely see this hold is similar to how Lycus Empire held the kitchen and dining bomb site that they did go to. Probably an extension upstairs, 1 or 2 inside of dorms, and for the rest mostly on the bomb site. One thing I do like, and hopefully we'll see, is Salvage playing in the bomb site with the smoke. I get what Brack was going for, and it still wasted quite a bit of time. But still, I think having the smoke more close to the bomb site is definitely the play, and you're not guaranteed to probably lose him on the roam clear early on, like we saw Lycus Empire being brought out. He's still playing a bit aggressively, to say the least. Behind that deployable shield, he's tucked around that corner, so it won't be as easy to get out if you were just simply facing Hourly's doorway. But still, I like that change that InControl are doing as opposed to what Lycus was doing on this bomb site.
Salvage is a very aggressive shield here on the green hallway. This could really change the flow of the round, I think. I think only one ADS was burnt there. Yep, the other one will get burnt out, and I think the other one recharged. So explosions will actually keep the shield alive. The drone is still on that, and they'll recognize that the shield is completely fine. Oh, the timing, hours. Salvage can't detonate the smoke grenade in time for the explosion to happen. Exile will find the opening frag with the 81. He'll take down Hourly, trying to peek the green hallway, and will we have another victim? No, actually, as the Maestro has fallen off. Salvage is still playing this close with a shotgun. However, he's got to be careful. There's multiple peeking into him. He'll take down Twist. He'll take down Defiance as well. He's going for a third, and he'll get it. Salvage with an aggressive shotgun angle that really shouldn't have worked out. But because of the player playing inside of Kitchen to offer him a crossfire, the round is over. InControl will tie it up. What a beautiful play from Salvage. It's only Cal in a 1 versus 4.
Yeah, he's already taken some damage, and the odds of him finding all these, it's probably not going to happen. Yeah, he just peeks into the tracers, and their Yusuke is to take him down. InControl, even at 5-5, and I mean, you're on Oregon. If you're peeking around a corner against a shotgun like that, I'm sorry, but unless the person holding the shotgun has literally no hands, you're not coming away with that. You're just simply not. And that's exactly what happened. Now it's 5-5.
Oh, no.
And for once, well, I was going to say for once, that wasn't so much Lycus Empire giving a round away, but I mean, they walked into a shotgun
They
3
did
times.
walk into a shotgun.
They did walk into a shotgun. Poor bit of utility usage there. Again, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the frag grenades were, I don't know, but even then, this isn't a, Wamai and a Jaeger stacking on top of each other. Sure, there was Sure, there's a shield you have to burn, a Malusi you have to burn as well, but I mean, he had hourly with 3 ash charges. And even then, you should probably be able to bank a grenade around a corner because the Mew was just, or the smoke was just sitting there. He wasn't moving. He was waiting for you to peek with the shotgun. I don't know. Either way, all around, kind of just Lycus Empire getting stuck on that one little part of the defense. And now in control, they can just move back downstairs. I think they've won every single bomb site now. I might be wrong. Feel free to correct me. But so my memory's kind of hazy for some reason, but I don't know. It's not looking good, to say the least, for Lycus Empire. They have looked really weak in these past few rounds.
They've been struggling, and I think it is a combination of InControl bringing really aggressive strategies to get in the face of Lycus when they need coordination the most, and basically exploiting the mistakes that Lycus are making. You know for a fact that team kill set them off, and then the self nade. I hate to talk about it a lot because I feel like it shouldn't. I've kind of hammered the point quite a bit, but that is demoralizing, and it costed them 2 rounds. So you're looking at Lycus basically at their lowest point right now, and InControl are taking very good advantage of that. Even without an IGL, somebody is making those calls. Somebody is telling them they are down bad. Let's take advantage, and it's working so good. So InControl are going to be going for a full turtle strat, as you typically see on a basement site. You kind of have bone a little bit off, but other than that, the basement is immense. There's a lot of square feet down there, so you got a lot to work with, and you got a lot to clear if you are Lycus Empire. And this is probably the strongest site on this map. So if Lycus don't step it up right now, match point is on the horizon for InControl. They're going to be getting rid of that Banshee and starting a freezer push as Hourly and Twist get themselves downstairs. However, there is a mirror looking directly into him, and there is Novozo sitting behind boxes with a locker's angle as well. So this isn't going to be easy for Lycus. They have got so much to deal with.
Yeah, so far they're kind of railroading themselves into this blue laundry push, and sure, they've taken down a little bit of utility, taken down a Barbed and a Malusi, but they're still staring dead at the mirror angle, but it's taken down. Cal's just watching it. Exile goes for the peek, and he gets completely fried, though. Looked like he was more back towards laundry, but still, that's the opening pick in the favor of Lycus Empire, and something that they sorely need after their 3 previous lost rounds. Still, to stall out after that opening little bit of momentum, and they haven't cleared out Novozo or Salvage, the latter of which is behind that mirror window, and at any time can just peek out. Now, Defiance, once again, seems to be the opening death for his team time and time again, and it's USK to seal his fate. And that's still 3 C4s in the favor of the defense, by the way. Lycus Empire try to go for a plan that could be absolutely critical for the success of the defense and could move them to match point. But either way, USK still alive, has pillars control, or has control inside his sight, but the defensive has pillars control, because the push is still only coming out from one way. But it doesn't matter if Lycus Empire just keeps having the defenders peek into them. Cal will push from Laundry. Twist gets a second one as well. Now it's a 2v4 in the favor of Lycus Empire, despite, in my opinion, the flawed attack that is coming out. Now Novozo's ripped the C4. This could be a double kill if he plays his cards right, or if Lycus Empire start to fumble the bag a little bit. Sophia Charge comes out, and there it is! The double kill for Novozo. Hourly and Twist fall. Step Brack. Oh no, what are you doing? Oh, and there it goes. Cal falls. It's a 2v4 clutch in the favor of InControl. They move to match point. It's 4 rounds in a row. If they get the 5th, it's game over.
Oh my goodness. Novozo just won the round and boned. He put the nail in the goddamn coffin. Are you kidding me? I am telling you, these 2 players, they frag when it matters. Oh my goodness. Put respect on everyone's name on InControl. That is Exile, Yusuke, Novozo. You might know him as Salvage, but his name is Sherbal and Bone. They are InControl. Oh my goodness.
Well, you know, to put it in the words of Novozo in chat, don't stack.
Don't stack. Dude,
Don't stack. If you've learned anything, don't stack, because that can happen. So now, you know, Jazz, I know you played a little bit cagey in between maps, but Ink's on match point. Lycus could come back. That's a possibility. Going to dorms,
Can I just
We-
be honest with you for a
they've-
sec?
I mean, of course, we're good friends.
I don't care about this result. I want this to go to overtime.
I do as well. I mean,
And-
so Lycus
I'm gonna
Empire
let-
have had success on this side, I think, if I do
Yeah.
recall. Yeah, they have. I mean, they could do it, but if they don't, it's over. And we don't get
I'm gonna-
overtime. And we want overtime. We don't want it to end.
Moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
At least
Oh
I
yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little caster secret, okay? I know I'm giving away classified information. This is
I don't even know what he's
classified
gonna say right
information.
now.
Yeah, I know. This is classified information. Guys, whenever we say, I can't wait to go to overtime, we are lying so hard. We are all tired and just worn down, and we don't want to go to overtime. I'm not kidding right now. I want this to go to max OT. I want this to go as long as it can. So caster secret. We do lie a lot whenever we say we want to. I do it myself. But there are some times when I don't lie, and this is one of them. Novozo has been the king of C4s, but he won't finalize the kill here as Cal is a little bit too far back. InControl have lost Novozo, or Novozo has lost HP, and InControl have lost control of that. I guess it's not called generator anymore. It's games wall. So see, Yusuke will go down. Novozo, a beautiful shot on the Cal, and Yusuke will get rezzed. So in all that trouble, there's no refrag just yet. Nade's gonna get tossed by Defiance, however, a beautiful one. He'll take down Sherbil. It's a trade. It's a 4-4. Ooh, Lycus, they can't settle for a 4-4 though. They need this. This is the possible final round, unless we go into OT.
Here's the thing, though. Okay? It's a 4v4, and I mean, that was a great shot from Novozo. Don't get me wrong. That's the ace as well, but I guess Defiance is getting hit some nice shots as well.
Wait,
Yusuke will go for the
that's
C4, but it's that's
That would have been amazing.
That's a
That
hard
actually
floor.
would've been amazing.
So that's a bit of a rare InControl fumble, at least so far this series, and he's wasted the C4. But on top of that, look at his health. Only 25 HP, and now the man advantage goes in the favor of Lycus Empire. This is now, as what I would say, this is their game to lose. Yusuke is still off the sites. That means it's only Exile and Bone left to try and hold it down. Now only Bone, as Defiance with a triple so far, will find the Maestro all the way back by the big window, and he doesn't spot the Jaeger at the rotate as well. So he'll get put down, but not out. If Bone gets spotted, he might be able to pick up the team, but no! It's a 1v2 now for Bone as two members of Lycus Empire get taken down, but there we go. Lycus Empire, they move us to overtime. It looked a bit scary with the two members. The one down and the one picking up his teammate got killed, but managed to bring it back. And there we go, Jazz. We're in overtime. We've made it.
This game is amazing. I am not even kidding. This game is amazing.
Whoever was
Links?
on the coverage on White Stairs, by the way, actually goated. Actually goated on that one. Literally, the dude swings from dorms and sprays down Hourly and Defiance. I mean,
He is
I honestly thought I stumbled up a little bit because I was like, oh my god, InControl are gonna win, and I thought the next kill was easily gonna go for InControl, but because the guy on White was able to watch the swing, as he should. This isn't anything spectacular. He was just doing his job. The fact that he was there and he didn't fail in that moment, that was the key kill that was able to solidify Lycus Empire's win in that round. And now, the chance to try and win this second map.
Whoever was on defensive is like Malkin back. He's like Matt Murray in the back of the net, even though Matt Murray sucks.
Is that a sports
So
reference?
I guess not a good comparison. That was a Penguins reference because I'm a huge hockey fan. That man is like prime.
Yeah, you gotta put in the.
I want to say, he's definitely prime. God, why am I forgetting his name? He's not a Penguin player anymore. So I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be
I
real.
don't care about him.
You're alone on this one, dog. Like,
No, I know I am. Just give me a second. I don't know why I don't remember his name. Fuck. It's Fleury. Jeez. I am so dumb. I am literally a Penguins fan. But when Fleury went to the Knights, not anymore. I hate that guy. But he's literally like Fleury in his prime on the back line. In the goal. That person theirs. Anyway. InControl Lycus 6-6. What more is there to say about this? InControl have the defensive start on overtime. So, with that, they're bringing the Mira. We see the Exile on Mira all the time. And it has been more than beneficial. It has quite literally been the saving grace for InControl. But could that all change right here, right now? Flashbang's coming out through big tower stairs. It's literally 30 seconds in, and already an opening frag here for Lycus. Bone just threw that one away. And now Pillar is so difficult for InControl to hold. If Lycus get control of Pillar, they completely nullify the player inside of an E-box. Exile will get naded, but he'll survive. Another nade from Defiance, and it will make it smart, but Exile is still out in the way. So am I. Actually, I'm sorry. No. Exile, he has to hit those. He's got the C4.
Oh my
it's gonna rip, but it's not gonna fight anybody. Exile is pressing every button on his keyboard, and it's a 2 versus 4. InControl have lost control, and Lycus Empire are now starting to push them out. Another C4 rips here inside of E-box. Last time around, this got a double kill. Actually, I think it downed multiple players as well. Defiance on a drone get taken out. The C4s on InControl are so good. And now, Lycus Empire are down to a 2 versus 3. Yusuke and Salvage, last players remaining. They've been able to clutch up here, but will this be enough as the plant's going to start to go down eventually once the second control can be given to InControl? The Banshees, I believe, are still active, however, and there's no way to really deal with them except for knife them. That could be a big delaying factor if it's there. But Lycus, they've got time on their hands. They've got a minute 10, but Yusuke's in freezer. He's got a really good angle here. If both Salvage and Yusuke can stay alive and hold this cross, the plant will be impossible for Lycus unless they take control of freezer. 54 seconds on the clock. They're just running the clock down, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Salvage will get a kill on the twist, but Cal will refrag. It's going to be a 1 versus 2. It's all up to Salvage with the AUG. Arguably not a good gun, and he can't do it. Lycus Empire will take their first attack in quite some time, and I guess they took the last round, but
we get what you mean.
The attacks have been few and far in between, but the most important attack was that one. We're going to be going to match point. Will we go onto overtime and continue on? Or will it be shut down by a team that won easily one of the most important attacks of this entire game?
That is the question. Obviously, Lycus, not being dumb, they're going to go to basement. This has easily been the best bomb site so far this game. Lineup as well. I don't believe we've seen much of a Goyo so far this matchup, so that'll be one adjustment Hourly makes, and a small one from Exile as well. The 6 pick from the Buck to the Cali. Even though the Arcade's not being brought by the defense, it still will allow them to get some more destruction in general for taking out things like deployable shields or Goyos or so on and so forth. Not so much the main role for Cali, which is normally to be a substitute for Thatcher, but to also just generally join in the likes of Yusuke and Bone and just clearing out and destroying utility that Lycus Empire will throw at the attack. This is going to be much more of a standard setup, likely, all things considered. You don't see that E-box mirror that InControl was bringing out. We're probably going to see the standard, maybe the standard elbow hold with the rotate, call playing behind it. No, actually, they're not. They're just going to reinforce it. Probably because the Wamai and the Jaeger changes, the Wamai ban and Jaeger being changed, probably not nearly as favorable, but this is what you're going to see. People anchoring on site, a bit of an emphasis on freezer. This is standard basement. You know the drill, and Lycus certainly do as well.
Let's see if Lycus can repeat what success they had on defense. Albeit it wasn't a 5-1 that InControl put up on Clubhouse, but it was a half win. But now they only need to do it once. So they've got the strongest site arguably in their hands. All it comes down to is Lycus just not throwing away kills. You see a lot of the times Lycus just peek something or just get team killed or something ridiculous happens where the earth is just falling apart and someone dies on Lycus for no reason whatsoever, and they don't get refragged. So that just has to be avoided. If Lycus can avoid getting too aggressive, if they can avoid playing around InControl and what control they might have, we can see Lycus ending it here with a tie game. But it's not that easy, is it? Exile's on Cali. He's playing a very risky operator considering that it is match point. Because Cali can be difficult quite sometimes. You gotta hit your shots of your Cali or else you're done for. Your gunfight's lost.
That is certainly true. If you miss even one shot, the amount of time to rechamber is really not enough to save your life unless you have a couple teammates there to watch your back, which, to be fair, Exile certainly does. There's 3 members in bunker total, and the other 2 on big tower stairs. And right now, they're just gaining some info around pillars. And there you go, the opening pick in the favor of Cali pushing in. It's Yusuke to get a second one, though. And it's an early 5v3 in the favor of InControl. Lycus Empire in a rough spot, to say the least. But Brack will impact that wall, maybe try to make a rotate and go for a flank later on. but every single play has to count for Lycus Empire. They've lost 2 men, Defiance and Twist, some of the great fraggers on Lycus Empire. It's now up to the remaining 3 supports. Brack will go for a late reinforcement, and thankfully Exile won't be able to shoot. And now Elbow and bunker control has been shut off. No more attacks can push them from there. Maybe they'll try to ace charge it. It's possible, but even then, they might not need to. But we've seen one defining factor win this round for Lycus Empire before, and it was the C4 play in the back of this bomb site. Hourly's the only one that has it, and he's not in position for the moment. We'll likely just see Cal use his Toxic Babes by default, and same with Brack to try and peek this pixel in between the bomb chassis. But no, it gets countered. That's how you read one right there, and now they're going to move in for the plant, exploit the chaos, and try and go for it. Hourly and Cal will take the spots. Cal gets one. Will the C4 come out? Not for the moment. Salvage falls off the plant. Hourly's likely right into this. He's just going to wait to rip later on. The time slowly moves down. This is the name of the game. Every single second that the attack wastes is a boon for Lycus Empire. He'll go for the C4, but it's weighted, and it's lost. Well, it's lost in terms of man count for InControl, but they still have the advantage. Bone will go for the plant. Another Toxic Babe. Will it delay? Yes, it will. Bone has to rotate off. The utility usage is so impeccable from Lycus Empire, but they just run out. No more C4s, no more Toxic Babe. There's 15 seconds left, but they have to make every bullet count. They actually have to swing. They physically have to take the engagement, and they'll be in the waiting arms of the attacking team. Hourly gets one. That's Exile. There's only 2 more. He gets one. It's a 1v1 now. Hourly's now gone, and he'll get it! Cali wins it for Lycus Empire. It's a clutch, a 2v5 at that, but they managed to pull it off. And it's a 1-1 at the end of the series.
That 1-1 just says it all. This was one of the most equal games that I've ever witnessed between 2 of the most equal teams. Unfortunately for InControl, they will not move a single point up or a single point down. They will only gain 1 point, and they won't get ahead of any teams. But Lycus have tied now. They are tied with Wichita Wolves. They are in round differential says, I think, 2nd place. I could be wrong. But
wow.
My goodness, man. My goodness. Lynx, can you believe that our first cast together would be this game?
It was a really good game. It was a really good game, to say the least. Again, I'm new to SCS. I don't know. Do we do interviews here? Do we do interviews? I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know about on a tie.
We're just chill. We're just gonna chill for now. We just need to decompress after that one. I mean, talk about. I mean, it was a close game, but that was almost. I mean, that was Ink's round, to say the least. Absolutely stellar job to Lycus Empire, but especially Hourly and Cal. Hourly and Cal, that round, they played that perfectly, without question. Just the C4 just started out. The perfect timing of the Toxic Babes coming out from Cal. Just spaced enough time in between to delay the maximum amount of time to squeeze as much blood from the stone as you can to try and make that work. I don't know. Either way, that was impressive, to say the least.
Well, we're going to toss it to the team who wasn't able to take Oregon there on that 4-2 attack. Albeit, man, that was just such a close game. Exile, the man with the tight pants. How you doing, man?
Hey, Jazz, man. How are you, man?
It's been a while since we've talked, has it not?
It's been too long, man.
It has been way too long. Oh, my goodness. That game was probably one of the best of the season. Undisputed. It was 9-7, I believe, on Clubhouse, and then 8-6 on Oregon. I did not expect it to be that close. It was literally overtime every single map. Take me through the mindset. I know it's not what you wanted. I know you wanted that dub to take you up to top 3, but just take me through the process, man. How are you guys feeling?
I mean, personally, like, we're fine with that loss, like on the second map, because like we played like both matches with a sub who didn't really like know his strats. We had like just tell him it on the fly. So like shout out to Sherbil for that one. It's like it's not fun losing, but like at the end of the day, I think like Lycus, in my opinion, like they should be like hitting themselves for that one, because like they lost a map to a sub and they almost lost it again to a sub. So I don't know, because other than that, I think it was a fun map. Like we had a lot of fun. I bet they had a lot of fun. It's always fun to play against them. Like we knew it was going to be a fun match. So.
Fun match. I mean, it was a barn burner. Both of them, both of the maps.
So
I definitely would talk to Lycus about that one, about what you just said, Exile.
Well, I mean, okay, Jasmine, if you hear me out here, we don't know where Kojin is at right now. So we're over here like our hard support IGL. We don't know where he is. Let's just get
for all we know,
Billionaire.
he could be pulling an Indy. He's asleep. We don't know.
We don't know. I don't want to assume anything. You know, hope for the best with him, obviously.
Could be pulling hose at a club. God knows what he's doing.
Who knows,
Who
right?
knows?
I
pulled. What's up, Links?
Oh no, I was gonna ask a question. But you finish what you're saying.
Well, we just pulled it. We pulled Billionaire, and he delivered on the support. So. I mean,
Oh yeah. Is he LFT?
he is LFT, I think.
There it is.
I don't know.
Keep that in mind.
Pick him up. Pick him up.
Billionaire, yep.
So
Salvage.
I have one question starting out on map 1. So obviously, since the Hibana change, she's become much stronger. Obviously, she was strong before, but even more so now. And Lycus Empire chooses to ban her out. You guys choose to ban Maverick. Since there's been some time scrimming on the TTS. Was this kind of something that you guys have been planning out for this eventuality being that restricted on the hard breach and it not being so much Thatcher and Maverick, but maybe Maverick and another hard breacher, this kind of scenario?
Yeah, when we first learned about Hib's new change, us as a team were like, okay, well, Clubhouse, she's not going to be used barely ever. So we got used to just not dealing with the Hib as much. But there were instances I'm gonna be honest, first round, when I literally forgot that impact tricking kitchen is difficult now, and I was like, I'm an idiot. Why am I impact tricking it? And so that was one thing, because if there's a Hib on it, it's more difficult. But if you have a coordinated team like Lycus and they're holding their angles on the vert, you're not gonna impact trick it. So yeah, I mean, Clubhouse is I would say it's more competitive now. You gotta change up your pushes because most teams just go
Definitely.
kitchen dirt. But you probably have to change up to where it's a church take maybe now, because not all the teams do that anymore because they just did kitchen dirt because it was easy.
That's one thing we noticed, was that it was both you guys and Lycus. If you guys were pushing a direction, you were basically only pushing that direction, whether it was down main, maybe you'd expand into dirt, but it was really it was those two main areas, and that kind of, it goes to show. There were barely any attacking rounds on that map, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick your brain about it.
So, if I recall correctly, it was you guys who banned Thatcher? I think it was Lycus.
On Oregon?
On Oregon, I think.
On Oregon.
Ink banned Thatcher.
We banned
think.
Thatcher.
So, here's the thing. You're on attack. So, what we saw from Clubhouse was that Thatcher was just key in every single attack. So, what made you what was the thought process behind the decision of banning Thatcher, who was a character that both of you guys played quite a bit on Clubhouse, especially on a map like Oregon, which can be really defender-sided at times?
So do you remember, I don't know if you remember, when we were on Clubhouse and I said my food's here?
I do remember that being said in chat at one point.
You got your Burger King?
I got my Burger King. And I have a nice slushie next to me, and I have some fries. But during op bans, I think I was alt-tab eating food, so I didn't really know. Thatcher ban, excuse my language, it fudged us over on attacks. And, at the end of the day, it is what it is,
Stuff happens.
It happens.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah.
Again, hey, Thatcher ban on attack. You guys are playing with a sub. You guys gave a really good fight that second map. And again, it came down to a 1v1 at the very end. And honestly, I thought it was gonna go your way, but Cal's managed to pull it out. Lycus Empire took the second map. You guys took the first map. I don't have any more questions. Jazda, you got anything more? Any more burning questions you want to ask Exile?
Exile is probably waiting on his fries and his slushy. So we're going to give the stage to Exile for a little bit if you want to go for your shout outs. I hope Sherbal's one of them because he's LFT. Give him a team. But fans, friends, foes, take the stage, Exile.
Of course, shout out to Sure Billionaire. Man's a gunner. Shout out to Ink, my teammates. They're amazing. Love scrimming with them every single day. And then one last thing, if any of you remember Homeland, you probably do. We were pretty good when we were a team. We're having a revenge tour occurring. It's happening. You're gonna witness it. And then also, this is just off topic, but Jasmine, I have this picture of you that I really wish the stream would show. I think Ferme has it.
Ferme's gonna show it if you tell him to.
If you could pull it up. I'm not.
Ferme, if you could pull it, it's in your Discord DMs.
I really really desperately want Ferme to bring this picture up so badly.
It's a picture of young Jasmine when I first ever saw him cast.
I'm
yeah.
excited.
And I remember it was like this border match, and he went absolutely bonkers with McWambles when he had this clutch.
McWambles? Oh
yeah.
my god!
You remember McWambles, Jasmine?
I remember McWambles. What the heck?
I wonder where he is, man. I miss him. I never met him before, but I miss watching his clutch up on border.
Oh,
I knew it was gonna be this one, man.
Look at that. Look, he's using look at him. He's using Apple earbuds.
Oh, look at you.
He's using Apple earbuds. What are you
now
like?
I'm using
HyperX,
HyperX,
like
sponsored by HyperX. Stop zooming in. I'm giving you a shill right now.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
Zoom in.
Hey,
look at those. And now
let's
the
just be
Apple
honest,
Apple earbuds are cut out of the frame. That's
be honest. I kind of had a glow up.
you did. You had a glow up, Jasmine. You styling out right now.
I'm fat,
I like
but I'm balling.
I like the tie-dye shirt. Like, it's
I
dripping.
actually really like this shirt.
All right. Well,
too.
either ways, thank you, Exile. Very much appreciate it. No. Now.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
It's been a long time coming, XL. Miss you.
It has been. Links, I'll see you in RSA.
I'll see you in RSA, my friend. Good luck in the trenches of ranked. Right,
well,
and
that was fun.
that was fun. We have a second one though, if I do believe. I believe Ferme saying. He said it's Braction time, if I do recall.
Braction time. Chat's about to explode.
Chat's about to explode. Step Brack, as he was called in game. I like that iteration much more than Sensei, by the way. Sensei was good, but Step Brack is. I'm a big fan of that.
Sensei.ly. Oh man,
dude, I got too hyped was the issue. I kept trying to work in a "What are you doing, Step Brack" joke in there, but it never worked out, unfortunately.
Yo.
All right, we got
I
Braxton
got him.
on the call, baby. The deep voice. I
Got him on the line.
We got him. Braxton. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Exile. That game was amazing to cast. Thank you so much for giving us a close game. I know it's probably not the result you wanted, but you guys are actually now, technically speaking, in points tied for first with Wichita Wolves. So you kind of got the better end of the stick there. So take me through that process. The Cal clutch paired with Alex or Hourly, and you guys managed to pull away with Oregon. Beautiful stuff. Walk me through it.
Well, the last round, they just threw. Right, I mean, they had the numbers advantage, and they told us stop stacking, and then they stacked and lost.
That's true.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
Good point.
They lost to their own, their own comment. But the whole game, both games, we threw a lot. And it sounds silly to say over and over, but like, we still haven't had a fifth to scrim with every single day yet. And on game day, we get exposed for it against good teams. Against bad teams, it's not that obvious, but InControl is a good team, so they were able to beat us the first map, which was Club, and we haven't played with Twist yet on Club at all. So it's like teaching him the map, playing with him the second day ever against a team that's pretty good on Club. You know what I mean? So we as a team don't take it too serious if we lose or anything as of right now, because there's only so much that we can force in the matter of like a day or less than a couple hours of play,
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, Lethal, you, Hourly, and Lethal, I feel like have been a team, at least, in my memory since, CL quals this time around on Kaioken. So, I mean, you guys have been a duo for a trio, I suppose.
Yeah, he's a cheat code. We
play.
play with him, and he has all he already knows what we want to do. So, like, picking him up at any time is just normal.
I mean, that certainly checks out. But again, going into the specific matchup, you mentioned in chat that you guys don't really scrim Club that often. So I just wanted to see, on your guys' attacking side, you only ran Ace as the one hard breach. And obviously Maverick and Hibana were banned, so you guys were kind of railroaded a little bit. But I wonder, was it a conscious decision to not bring the Thermite, as you guys did bring it once you guys reached overtime, or were you just did you think you could make it work with the Ace?
That's the first time I ever played banning Hibana, and the only reason why we need to ban Hibana is because we just know that since the update you can't impact trick her on the hatch. So I was like, I'll just ban Hibana, and then we'll just learn how to attack without Hibana, Obviously, on game day, it took too long for us to adjust. Like, you saw me pick up Thermite, but it was way, way, way too late. So, I mean, we lost because of that, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And again, that just goes to show if you pick up someone recently, you don't have a lot of time to scrim. So, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Twist, he really did show up for you guys, I think. I think he was a great addition to the team, and you guys definitely showed up. I honestly cannot say that there was a better team throughout this entire game. Both you and InControl are just looking astonishing right now. SCS is looking competitive, and this just goes to show. So you guys had an excellent game, but I do want to ask you about Twist a little bit more. Just a little bit more, because obviously he's the new addition. I'm interested to pick your brain about Twist. Was it a tryout, or was it like connections? Like what got you to Twist, and why was Twist the choice?
Well, Twist has unreal gun skill. Like if you've seen his Twitter, he just shoots everybody. And I've also teamed with him. It used to be me, Hourly, Lethal, and Twist at one point. So taking him is like another shortcut. I don't have to go over as much. But I think Twist could be really, really good. He just needs to understand like his role better, you know. His gun skill is insane, so that's why you pick him up, especially like in a T3 league. It just comes down to gun skill at the end of the day, and I don't have it, so I need to surround myself with as much gun skill as possible. So when I suck, they can help me win.
I didn't expect that one.
No, I mean that makes sense. You gotta respect a man who knows his limits.
Yeah, that's why I'm back on mute, getting 15 kills with SMG later.
On Ash. What got you so desperate to put Hourly on Ash, man?
I don't know. He's on my last draw with him on that.
I know.
I might be going back.
No disrespect to Hourly, but on Club, you started to take the reins at a certain point in terms of kills, and I was like, yikes.
Oh man,
for that one later. But anyways,
in all fairness to Twist, new player, the roles are like the most difficult thing to adjust for him. But with that, with Twist not really having his roles cemented yet, you guys did pretty damn good with Twist especially. So great stuff to you guys.
And also I do believe Jazz and I weren't entirely sure, but I believe you guys do now currently hold first place, at least for the moment. You guys are at 33. Yeah. So with that in mind, this time for shout outs. Same with Exile. Anything you want to say to the people watching, that might be skeptical of Twist, for example, just, you have the platform now.
Don't worry about Twist, worry more about Hourly. And I also would drop Defiance if a 3/5 rule didn't exist, but I'm stuck with Defiance. Otherwise, GG's.
He did nade himself.
He did nade himself.
He did nade himself, that's a fact.
That is something that happened.
It's in the history books. Thanks so much, Braxton, of course. Great interview with you, man. Close game. You guys are absolutely incredible, and I wish we could see more of that game, but it's unfortunately over. Thank you for coming along for this interview, and congrats to your team.
All right, thanks.
The time might not be what you want, but you're in first now.
These are...
All right, take care. So, what a game. What can be said? What can be said about that game? That was absolutely amazing. Jeez, I'm still stuck in Oregon right now. Lynx, we've been wanting to cast forever, and we finally did it on a game that was absolutely incredible.
Really good game, absolutely
amazing game. So, I believe that is the only match for the night, as Hostile Actions versus Redux Rising was rescheduled. Redux Rising are currently playing in unnamed league. So,
well, no, so they were rescheduled, and they will actually be SCS in chat is correct. We'll be rating the UPL. We'll be rating the UPL finals, to say the least. It's being casted by our very own Stick and Chief at SCS, who have been around much longer than Jazz and I have. So, you got some SCS, hometown pride. Make sure you go watch them and support their casting. But again, as Jazz said, we've wanted to cast together for a while. Hope you all enjoyed. But even if you didn't, at least you had a great game to watch. But anyway, I've been Lynx with Jazz, the incomparable, the incomparable, lovely individual. And with that being said, have a good night and enjoy UPL finals if you stay around and watch.